What's up? What's happening, beautiful people? Hope everybody enjoyed Hal's show. What's happening? What's going on? What's everybody doing? Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can see me. Let me know everything's going all right. The party went next door. That is usually what happens. I'm hoping that the party comes here. How's everybody doing? What's going on? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Thumbs up in the chat. Give me thumbs up. Give me thumbs up. Give me thumbs up. Give me thumbs up. Twilight, how are you? Donna, how are you? Paul, how are you? Spike in. Twilight, Cynthia, Steve, Chris, Lace, Tim. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys can hear me and I'm not just talking to myself. That would be fucking awesome if I wasn't just talking to myself. Terpy. Terp gang in the house. Loud and clear. Sounds good to me. As usual, I think the comments are a bit behind. All right, so lots to cover, lots to talk about. Obviously, Donald Trump's speaking in South Carolina. See if we can figure out how to get you over there. Let's go. So right now, we're still making him wait. So the good thing is, and you don't have to see him because he's not speaking yet. The good thing is that Donald Trump is again making everybody wait for him. RSBN actually was telling people that this whole broadcast was going to start like sooner than expected. Obviously past 2 o'clock, and it's still not starting. But how's everybody doing tonight? Oh, he's fashionably late, of course. Siha, Paul, what's up? Kelly. I like when everybody joins. How was Hal's show? A little bit of technical difficulties, but guess what? I'm used to that, so no complaints. The height of ignorance. Yeah, they all are, any girl. Every single one of them. Let's get a check-in. Let's see what they're doing. Can you hear him? I'm muted. See, the thing is here, and I did upgrade. For some reason, I don't know why it's not showing my my name there, right? But that's all right. We'll figure that out later. Yeah, let me know if you can hear everything, if you can see everything, what you're hearing, what you're seeing. Let's start taking bets. What time Donald Trump is actually going to get on stage? It's 2:07 now. Let's check in here. Let's see where they are.
You can expect to hear him talk about the left's attempt to continue to keep him off the ballot. He's going to talk about the DOJ, the FBI, our election.
All right, just everybody let me know that you can hear and see the video, just so I can make sure that's going all right. Trump still owes my county in Pennsylvania for 2 rallies he never paid us. Trump is a deadbeat. That's from what, 2016 too? I don't even think that's from the 2021. I think that's from 2016. He's got a few of them. All right, so you guys can hear the video. All right. So let's check in with, I keep forgetting this lady's name. Not that it's important enough, but let's see what she's got to say.
He says that they're not just coming after him. He's going to talk about how they're coming after you as well. So look for all of this going on in the coming days. And I'm smiling right now because I'm also getting word that he's going to tell the snake story that we all know. And
this is getting good already. This is getting fucking good already. She had to get word in her ear, in her fucking earpiece, that Donald Trump may do the snake speech, may do the snake poem today. You know how, like, you know, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, even Fox would, like, they'd be getting like breaking news alerts in their ear, like really, you know, things that are breaking news. Nope. What she gets, what RSBN gets, is the fact that Donald Trump may do the snake. Oh, it's fucking priceless. It really is fucking priceless. It never gets any better, too. You think they'd find some other way to be able to fill time Or maybe just don't start your live stream 17 and a half fucking hours before Donald Trump gets to this place. Just a thought. I don't know.
And love for President Trump to tell behind the podium. So he'll talk about that snake story, and
it's like blink once if you're okay, blink twice if somebody is holding a gun behind that camera to your head, please, because what the fuck is going on there? Unbelievable. Of course he's gonna wait, so we might as well check some other shit out here. Unreal. You'd think he was gonna be. You'd think he'd be on time, right? X. Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna go to ACYN. These are just a couple clips from Donald Trump's speech yesterday in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, where he spoke to the NRA.
Cut it open with a scissor. Does anybody have a scissor?
This is a good one.
Also sitting underneath his beautiful Corvette that he talks so much about, in a very flimsy garage with one of those very cheap garage doors. You know, you can cut it open with a scissor. Does anybody have a scissor? I want to get some classified documents. Let's cut.
Does anybody have a scissor? Oh, sorry, no video. Sorry, I wasn't showing that tab. That's my fault. But listening to him is enough. That is just fucking unreal. I love it. You can't see that? Can you see it now? You should be able to see that, right? No? Yes, no? Hey, no? Yes, no? Wow. Why can't you see that yet? No, why can't you see that yet? Are you still seeing Trump's thing? Thanks, Mel. What are you seeing, to be quite frank? Just Trump's speech? All right, cool. Ta-da. What about now? That should work. And this. And we're live. The ending file is in Drive if you want to grab it for later. Thank you, Mel. I do appreciate and love you very much. I do appreciate it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to share this tab instead. And that's how you're going to be able to see that. Now, all I got to do is do the sound again. But this is a good one. This is a good one. This is almost as bad as
in a very flimsy,
almost as bad as him saying that the Democrats are somehow going to change the name of Pennsylvania.
Also sitting underneath his beautiful Corvette that he talks so much about, in a very flimsy garage with one of those very cheap garage doors. You know, you can cut it open with a scissor. Does anybody have a scissor? I want to get some classified documents. Let's cut it open. Also sitting underneath his beautiful.
Does anybody have a scissor? Oh, this is good. This is good. And can somebody be on anybody in the chat? Somebody in the chat, can you be on Trump's speech watch in South Carolina? That way I know I'm not missing anything. I'd head to make this any longer than it has to be. But yes, what the fuck is he talking about, Nick? Honest to God, what the fuck is he talking about? Unbelievable. And that's not even the worst one. Let's see if we can find them good ones. They're so good, dude. ACYN done. All right, I want to find the change in the name of Pennsylvania one. That's where he says he did nothing on guns. Nothing on guns. Like, who brags about doing nothing on guns? Hannity lost his mind calling Kellyanne Trump. Come on, give me something good. What's this one? I cooperated with very unfriendly and hostile. All right, let's see what this one is.
The very unfriendly and hostile feds, I cooperated far more than Biden did. who set records to Chinatown thing. I cooperated with the very unfriendly and hostile feds.
How terrible does he look, huh? Look at this. What is going on here? And then look at the difference in the color of his face and his hands. His hands are bright white. You can't even tell his hands from his shirt. But his face? Oh, that's so good. That is so good. More lies in Chinatown. Yeah, he sounds like Jesse Waters going to Chinatown. Just check back in with Mrs. Trump here.
And illegal immigration going on in our country.
Hoax, and now you look at it, and it is a phony hoax. And hopefully that case will be dismissed in short order. It's a disgrace to this country. But they work together with the Justice Department and the White House, and not supposed to do that. Every one of these cases you see comes out of the White House. It comes.
I might have to go away for a sec. One second.
Election interference, and it's really very sad. I thought the presentation today was a very good one. I think it was well received. I hope it was well received. You have millions of people that are out there wanting to vote, and they happen to want to vote for me or the Republican Party, or whatever you want to, however you want to phrase it. But I'm the one running, and we are leading in every poll. We're leading in the local polls, in the state polls, and we're leading in the swing state polls, and we're leading very big in the national polls. So it's been a very great honor. We love the country. I think the reason we have such big leads, frankly, is that they loved 4 years of us compared to the 3 years plus the 3 years that they've gone with Biden, where you have open borders, you have crime. Nobody's ever seen crime like this, what's happening. And now the crime is being committed, much of it by the migrants that have come in illegally to our country. I was wondering about that. I said, a lot of these people come out of jails, they come out of mental institutions, they come out of places that you don't want to know about. We don't even know where they come from. We don't know who they are, where they are. They're being dumped in from mental institutions, from prisons and jails. And many terrorists are coming into our country. We're going to be paying a big price. They have to stop it. They have to close the border. By the way, the president can do it just by saying, I want the border closed. I closed the border. We had the safest border in the history of our country. Now we have the most unsafe border in the history of the world. There's never been a country with a border like this, not even a third world country. So we are, again, we're going out to Nevada right now. We'll be out there. Some of you are going to be out there with us. Otherwise, your colleagues will be. And hopefully we're going to have a big night caucus tonight. We're going to have a very big night. We expect to have a very big night. The Virgin Islands, as you know, are also very much in play today. So we'll be hearing about them sometime during the day or later on in the evening. And it's an honor to have you at Mar-a-Lago. I hope you like it. It's worth a little more than $18 million. There's another case. He says it's worth $18 million. I said, which cabin are we talking about? But that's the kind of justice we have. When they say that to try and build up a case, that was a shame. But that gave up so much. When they said that gave up so much that Mar-a-Lago's worth $18 million. They had it appraised for, as you know, 50 to 100 times that amount. But we have a judge that's what he said. And he's supposed to be ruling on me. But who knows? Maybe he'll be fair. I doubt it, but maybe he'll be fair. So I want to thank everybody. And by the way, we proved that case 100%.
There's just nothing that, like, first of all, where does he have those fucking people standing? All right. And then another point I'd like to make, and that I'm sure everybody noticed with this asshole, is how many fucking planes fly over this guy's property in an hour? Okay. I live really close to Logan Airport. I don't really fucking notice the planes flying over anymore. I don't really care about it. There's the whole groups around here that are trying to like reroute the fucking planes so they can fly over the ocean and they don't fly over land, so we don't have to hear them. No thanks. I don't like. That's why his property isn't worth. That's one of the reasons why his property isn't worth what the fuck he thinks it's worth. Because you got planes flying over where you can't even talk to the you can't even talk to the media outside of your property. You have to wait every 10 minutes so the 747s can fly over. It's just fucking funny. But does anybody know how I can make somebody a mod? see here. No, I don't want to delete your comment. I don't want to put you in timeout, and I don't want to do that. So how do I do that? Anybody. I'm going to do this. That's a star. No, that doesn't help either. Robin, you could hit the line and then hit the like. Does anybody know how I make people mods in this motherfucker? What they were just showing was pre-recorded. So basically, what they're doing is they're trying to fill time until Trump.
Very beautiful.
Until Trump actually speaks, like, because he's late as usual. Someone wants to send Mr. Spock. Oh shit! Now it's going fast. Now I understand how hard it is for everybody to read these things. Everything in moderation. No, how do I make somebody a moderator? Like, how does that work? Mel, if you can figure out how I'm supposed to do that, I will be more than happy to. You might have to log off and do it. Well, it's going to have to wait till next time. I see a private chat thing. What's a private chat? That's no fun. Nick and Spock have arrived. Yeah, so basically we're just waiting for Trump to speak. There's no sense getting into. I also want to get into a little bit of the Vladdy Putin Tucker interview, but there's no sense getting into it right now because I gotta do everything. Yes, I am hugely computer illiterate, so I don't know how to say that in any more clear of terms. That I don't know how to do shit. I'm just the face. Go to your settings. Okay, let's do that. All right, let's play along. Guests. No. Guest general? Layouts? Recordings? Let's play Help Boston Brian set up his fucking live stream. Shift videos, comments, banners, automatically layouts, hotkeys, recordings. Guests? No. No. Band guests? No, I don't have any band guests yet. No, nothing in there that I want to see. Anyway, somebody else we'll figure that out at a different time. Probably not the best to be doing it on air. I should just be able to click your name, though. You'd think, right? Nope, that just highlights it. Well, now you highlighted, at least. Yeah. Terrible at computers. Yes, and that. I do have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/Boston Brian. Don't forget to hit the like button so other people that don't normally get to see these types of things. Honestly, Mel, I don't know how to get that fucking comment out of there. I'm just not gonna lie. There you go. That's how you do it. We're gonna get it, folks. We're gonna get it. We are gonna get. I think half the fun is seeing me fuck up everything as I'm doing this. So maybe that's working in my favor. Still waiting on Donald Trump in Conway, South Carolina. Let's see if we can find another dumbass clip of Donald Trump. How's everybody else doing? Oh, that's a good question. Who's everybody got in the big game tomorrow? I know a lot of us don't have their hometown teams in the game, so you might not have a horse in the race, but who would you like to see win tomorrow? That'd be a good chat discussion as I'm finding the Donald Trump, we want to change the name of Pennsylvania clip, which is just fucking chef's kiss. During my years, I did nothing on guns. Nothing on guns. Yes, here it is. Here we go. Ready? This is amazing. Get ready for this. I know some of you have seen it, some of you haven't, but it's fucking beautiful.
We have to win in November, or we're not going to have Pennsylvania. They'll change the name. They're going to change the name of Pennsylvania. We have to win in November, or we're not going to have Pennsylvania. They'll change the name. They're going to change the name of Pennsylvania. We have to win in November, or we're not going to have Pennsylvania.
Oh, it gets better every time I watch it. It gets better every single time I watch it. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. As a political commentator, I should be able to give you some commentating on what that possibly could mean. No clue. Not a clue. I don't have a clue. I don't. If anybody, if anybody in the chat, yeah. And I tweeted it. Let's see if I can find. See if I can be that guy that's gonna find his own tweets on his own live stream. The thing is, right, that we all know Joe Biden messes up. We all know Joe Biden mixes up people. He mixes up dates, names, places. He trips. He walks with a shorter gait now because he's older. But I think the difference is that Democrats tend to hold their politicians to a different standard when it comes to, when they make a mistake, or if they have a gaffe. We don't like seeing it. We don't want to see it. We know it's probably not a good look for the US. But when Donald Trump messes something up, or when he talks about Viktor Orban being the leader of Turkey, and any gaffes that you can pull up, basically all they do is defend it, and then he goes on to try to make it seem like he was right the entire time. It's just, I don't know, the whole thing. It's kind of ridiculous in one respect, but it's not, because obviously we want the best of the best to be leading this country, the best of the best to be writing the laws, and giving the people of this country the best representation they possibly can get. But it's tough sometimes. It's tough sometimes because we seem to shoot ourselves in the foot by kind of holding our politicians to a different standard, basically. Hungary, the worst correct. I mean, the fact that Donald Trump would continue to call Viktor Orban some sort of strong man, and talk about how he's respected in the European theater, and it's ridiculous. All he does is talk about weak individuals, people that know they're weak and have to use violence and intimidation and to basically get their way, because they know they're not intellectually smart enough, or they would never have risen to that level if it wasn't for violence or some sort of sneak move that they had coming up in their careers. All right, so now everybody in the world is now sending me information on how to run live streams. I don't know how to do it. It should be really easy. I think I do have to be out of it, but that doesn't make sense either, right? No, it doesn't make sense either. Doc in Paradise. What's going on? What's happening, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please smash that like button on the way in. Share it if you can. I do believe I'm now streaming on Shitter, as Hal would call it, at the same time, not just on YouTube. I'm also going to try to get my Twitch up and running, but I'd like to get, as Mel was kind of reeling me back in, I'd like to get it running smoothly on one platform before I kind of spread it to all the platforms. I think that makes the most sense. Let's check in again here and see what they are talking about.
For Macy to keep a Republican in office, we need to make sure we hold on to that seat. All right, awaiting President Donald J. Trump here in South Carolina. This is really a state that America has been watching for a long time, especially as the field of candidates starts narrowing down, because this is Nikki Haley's home state, and she has lost the 4 previous states that has already voted.
All right,
and
Steve-O.
so everyone's been wondering what's going to happen in her home state of South Carolina, where she's currently down in the polls.
All right, let's go, Steve-O. Steve-O says, next to a chat message, click the menu and select add as managing moderator or add as state. I tried that. Let's see here. Mel, can you comment for me, please? And thank you. So I'll try this one. Click to the right of it. It just says delete comment, put user in timeout, or ban user and delete their comments is my only option. or I can star them, which means I don't know. I don't know what that means. Delete comment, put user in timeout. I mean, I could put you in timeout. I can just put it in timeout. I've starred 2 people, it says. I don't know what that means. Can't post comments to some destinations. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. And I'm proud to be a treasonous bastard. Where is he? Where's he coming out? There he is. There he is. I hate this land. God bless my bank account. Please send me everything you have in yours. I robbed everybody in Minnesota. I robbed everybody in Tennessee. Everybody's buy some NFTs. Make sure you get the Trump Kid book. Oh no, Bram. Oh, this is just terrible. Okay, I'm gonna clap right now. I'm gonna look that way. Don't want to hurt my hands. I'm gonna stand here for another 3 minutes pointing at you. I'm gonna walk pointing at you. You suck. I'm gonna walk back here to the people that never get to. Yep. Oh, hey. Thank you for holding my signs. Yeah, you're holding that sign. Good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna walk over here. Clap, clap. Thank you. This is just fucking terrible. Why does he do this every time? It's a fucking. Like, it's just. You don't have to play the whole song. I'm gonna stand here like an asshole until the fucking song ends. I'm gonna point to a few more people. You better send me your money. All right, let's see here. All right, I got to go away for a sec so I can control the screen if I want to. I might be able to see the quad for a sec.
Well, thank you very much. South Carolina, we've had a great relationship.
South Carolina, fucking South Carolina. This is it. This is here. Here is it. This is South of Carolina. North is up there, but this is South. Let's go.
With South Carolina. Thank you very much. And I'm thrilled to be back in this beautiful state. We love this state.
We do love it. We do love it, folks. We do love it. We do love it.
With thousands of hardworking, God-fearing American patriots. And thanks to proud citizens like you last month, we won Iowa by the largest margin in GOP history.
Do you think anybody there really doesn't know the turnout numbers of Iowa? Do you think they just obviously they just take his word for it? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, Bri. What are you trying to fucking think reasonably during this man's speech? Shut the fuck up.
We then went to a beautiful place, New Hampshire, with more votes.
Is that Ozzy Osbourne? How did fucking Ozzy Osbourne from 1979 get in the crowd? Oh my god. Ozzy. And again, look at the diversity. I mean, let's just take a look at that diverse crowd. There's almost a, I mean, she's whiter than white. That is just fucking, you're either white or you're beyond white in this crowd. It's the only two things he allows at his crowds. Like, what the fuck? That's Aussie. That's Aussie. Sorry.
We won it with more votes than any candidate has ever gotten in the history of the New Hampshire primary. That's good. As you probably heard 2 days ago, we won everything in the
All right. I'm not going to continue to do it. I'm just not going to continue to pick people apart. But what is this? What is going on here? Please, somebody explain it to me. What is? Are these two together? Are these two together? Oh, we are the odd couple.
Virgin Islands, a nice place, beautiful place. Would you like to go sometime? We'll all go together.
I could be there right now if I didn't have to talk to all you fucking schmucks so I could get your money and possibly your votes. I could be there now with Jeffrey Epstein.
Now we won everything in the Virgin Islands, and then we had a great night, day, month, year, decade in Nevada. We love Nevada. 99.
A great decade in Nevada.
%, in the Nevada caucuses. We even won the primary that we didn't participate in. We won the primary by 48 points, and we didn't participate in it. It was very good. I think I was known as not this name. No, we won the primary by a lot. We didn't have much competition, to be honest with you. But we got more votes than anybody in Nevada in the caucuses. We got more votes than anybody in the history of that. So far, we're breaking every record. And I have a feeling.
No. Getting a few thousand more votes than Ted Cruz did in the Iowa caucuses is not breaking records.
We're going to do that again, right, Henry, in South Carolina. We're going to do it again. I think so. We don't have much competition, I will tell you. Turned out we have a lot less competition than we thought. 14 days from now, each and every one of you is going to get out and vote and deliver a gigantic win right here in South Carolina.
Oh, my God.
And
they are together. They are together. That's her hand. That's Ozzy's hand on fucking Zuckerberg's shoulder. That is Ozzy Osbourne and Mark Zuckerberg when they were kids at the Trump rally in South Carolina right now. You see it all, folks. You just see it all at a Trump rally.
And this November, we're going to win the White House, and we're going to take back our country. We're going to take it back.
Why does he have to talk like that every once in a while?
Early voting for South Carolina begins. The primary begins. You got to get out. We want to send a signal for November. We just want to send. We want to win this thing so big. We want to send a signal because we have to take back. They are destroying our country. This man is destroying our country. So on Monday, go vote.
And everybody knows the one way, the best way out of all the ways to destroy a country is to lower inflation, lower the gas prices, fix the infrastructure, help our veterans, bring back chips manufacturing to the United States, bring back all manufacturing to the United States, you know, things like that, raise the GDP. Best way to kill a country. If you didn't know that, now you do.
Early voting, go vote. Let's not forget that this week we also had another massive victory that every conservative should celebrate. We crushed crooked Joe Biden's disastrous open borders bill. Crushed it.
Crushed it. Crushed it. Now I'm going to brag about it. Crushed it. How long before he then goes into how much of a problem the southern border and immigration is after saying this? How long do you think he waits, guys? How long? What's the time period in between we killed that border bill, which I didn't even fucking like, if you really want to know the truth, but that's besides the point. We can do that in another live. How long before he then touts? Maybe next sentence. Since I'm thinking maybe next sentence. All right, that's actually probably the best guess. And I'll just say that border bill or the House resolutions, it did have some constitutional questions. It didn't help, you know. It was a Republican bill through and through, basically, and we were trying to, in my eyes, I think the Democrats were just trying to once again appease Republicans, and just so they could say they got something done. Or on the flip side, if the Republicans didn't vote for it, now they have something to blame Republicans on. But again, I don't know if the everyday American gets that deep into the minutia of politics. I think they're just going to say, you know, it's a failure in my eyes for Joe Biden and the Democrats not to be able to get a bill done when they're in charge. I don't know if the majority of this country realizes how obstructionist and how disengaged and disingenuous and hypocritical the Republicans actually are when it comes in terms of, passing legislation. So that worries me just a little bit, just to clarify.
Mike Johnson did a very good job, and the whole group did a great job in Congress. We crushed it. We saved America from yet another horrific Biden betrayal, disaster. I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing anyway, so. I always say by the people that surround him, or by, sometimes I'll interchange, I'll say by Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein.
Remember when Rush Limbaugh used to say Barack Hussein Obama? Hussein Obama. This fucking guy, he's a clown.
But every time I say that, the fake news, that's a lot of fake news back there. The fake news.
No, those are your campaign cameras. OAN, Newsmax, RSBN. So those are probably the most loyal people in the circle of people that are loyal to you are the people that you're pointing at now denigrating as fake news.
Every time I say it, anytime I want to have a little fun, Governor, we have fun sometimes, even though the country's going to hell, we have to have a little bit of fun. But every time I interchange Barack Hussein Obama, remember Rush Limbaugh? He'd go, Barack Hussein Obama. I wonder what he was getting at. But every time I do interchanging, we do a little interchanging, they say, he doesn't know who the president is. He thinks it's Barack Obama. I say, no, but I think Barack Obama has a lot to do with running the country right now, and we can't let that happen.
So you don't think he's president, but you do think he's running the country. Gotcha.
He has a lot to do with it. I, the other day, got caught. I do the imitation where Biden can't find his way off the stage, right? He can't find the stairs. Well, right there, I got one, I have two, I got three, and I could jump off the back or off the front if we had to, right?
Do it. Do it. Please do it. Please do it. Jump off the back. Jump off the front. Jump off the fucking sides. I want to see it. I want to see your fat ass land on those fucking heels, and I just want to see those heels shatter on impact as your fucking Achilles tendon blows out the back of your fucking calf muscle, and they drag you out of that fucking auditorium. You fucking fat bastard.
So I do the imitation. It's just fun. I say, this guy can't put two sentences together. He can't even find his way off the stage. And then I go, watch. I'll imitate him. And I go like this. Huh. You ever notice he always goes, huh? He starts off good because he's pointing at the stairs. And then after that, he's like, and then he turns around. Huh. And in Nevada, where we did so well, we had a wall in the back. We don't have a wall here. We have great people. As opposed to a wall. I like people better, though, but we had a wall, and I walked back to the wall. And then I came back, and we had a great, and we did a very good speech.
Hold on. You want to run that one? Hold on.
He
You wanna
was
run that one by
unable
me
to
again,
find
Chief?
his way off the
Can you run that
stage.
one by
We
me
did
again?
a wall, and I walked back to the wall. And then I came back, and we had people better than as opposed to a wall. I like people better, though, but we had a wall, and I walked back to the wall. And then I came back, and I like people better as opposed to a wall. I like people better, though, but we had a wall, and I walked back to the wall. And then I came back, and we had a great, and we did a very good speech.
Oh, this fucking guy. Oh, I came back to the wall and I said, walls and wheels. I can't do it, this fucking guy. Oh, that's too good.
They said he was unable to find his way off the stage. You know why? Because they're among the most dishonest people you'll ever see. So what I do, you have to be very careful with sarcasm and having a lot of fun, because they don't like fun. They use it to your disadvantage. But I will say that I've never seen such.
This is the no fun zone. Democrats have created a no fun zone, and the media has created a no fun zone. Oh man, every time I try to pick them apart seriously, and you just can't do it. You just can't do it. You just can't fucking do it. It's just not possible.
Spirit as we have right now. Never. You look outside. I mean, this is a big place and all, but I think you have 4 or 5 times the number of people outside. You can't get them in. Would anybody like to give up their place? No?
Again. Why are you going to leave 5 fucking times the amount of people that are inside to watch you outside so they can't see you? Like, if there's that many people outside, book a bigger fucking place. Like, how dumb is that? He thinks it's some sort of like gotcha, like, oh, flex, I'm flexing. There's more people outside. Stop leaving your fucking fans outside, asshole. Stop doing it. Stop doing it.
No, Vernon. The answer is no. I just made a very short. You know, we have big screens outside. I made a little short speech, but we're going to have to come back and maybe use the airport, do something. But we got to get everybody. We got to get everybody out. But among other travesties, Biden's horrendous border plan would have allowed millions and millions. This is the worst border plan I've ever seen. You know, you don't need a bill or a plan. All you have to do as president say, shut the border, like I did. I said, shut the border. You don't need bills and plans. Would have allowed millions of illegal aliens a year flooding unchecked across our borders.
Oh, Aussie de-shaded. Hold on. Aussie has de-shaded. The sun went down. I'm sorry.
Virtually unlimited number of illegals from countries such as Somalia, the Congo, Libya, Yemen, and Iran. A lot of people coming in from Iran, a lot of people coming from China, a lot of
folks, we don't know who these people are. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know why they're coming here or where they're going. But we do know they're from Congo and Afghanistan and Iraq and Iran, and they have diseases, and they're also getting $1,000 credit cards and staying at the Four Seasons. But we have no idea. They're coming from mental institutions and insane asylums as well. All these other countries are emptying their jails and prisons because you got to make the distinction, make sure that everybody knows that jails and prisons are different things. So what you're going to have is people that are still awaiting trial and that have not been found guilty yet being released on their own recognizance, because that's what jail is. That's what jail is, not prison. Prison is when you're serving out your term. Anyway, that's what's going to happen, basically. So just want to make sure everybody knew what was happening at the southern border. But we don't know who they are, but we know everything about them. No idea where they're coming from, but we do know what their intentions are.
A lot of people coming from Russia. You know, it's interesting. They're coming from these.
What? Hi, Jess. How are you? Appreciate you stopping in. Who the fuck is going from Russia to Guatemala through Mexico so they can get into the United States through the southern border? Anybody? I'm sure there's a couple you can check off on that list, but is there some like huge Russian caravan coming through Mexico that just has not been reported that I'm not seeing?
These places, sadly, I don't want to say this to the women. I don't want to insult the women, but there are very few women coming in.
So don't.
They're almost all men, 18 to 25. That means fighting age. That's fighting age. So they have something planned.
I know that everybody in here that's watching is pretty politically motivated and pretty, let's say up to date on what's going on in a lot of areas of our country politically. You've seen a lot of video. You probably even seen Fox News because a lot of people hate watch it. I watch it just to see what they're saying. And like I said on Hal's show, I think the other day, it's amazing to me that they keep playing the same fucking videos over and over again, showing mothers and families with backpacks, sneakers, fucking jeans, carrying suitcases with the children on their back. Like, what about that sounds or seems to be militaristic to anybody? Honest to God. Like, what? I've yet to see a large group of just individuals 18 to 25 years old that are here, chanting death to America, or here with some clear, intent that is harmful to this country. It's wild to me that they don't see how embarrassed they should be by calling this some sort of invasion that we should be scared of. No tanks, no guns, no armored personnel carriers, no drones, no fucking, just nothing, no weapons of war whatsoever. Just people coming to seek a better life, leaving what is obviously a shitty situation wherever they came from. For them to be able to make the decision to uproot their whole life and then come to the United States the way they did, through Mexico, wherever they came from, wherever they originated that journey, is just, it should say a lot as to where they fucking are leaving. You know what I mean? How bad does it have to be for you? How bad would it have to be in your city right now for you to pick up everything you fucking have, your kids, your family, your belongings, everything, and just leave it all behind, never to see it again? And to trek, let's say you trek to fucking, 1,000 miles away in somewhere in this country. It's just, it's almost unimaginable. And it's crazy to me that nobody has respect. Not only do they not have respect, but they have just fucking utter contempt for these people. And a lot of the people that do have contempt are people that their ancestors came here in similar ways. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating. So.
Planned, and we're not going to stand for it. They are destroying our country. This group of fascists, they're destroying our country. They talk about democracy. Biden is bad for democracy because he's grossly incompetent. That's why he's bad for democracy. He is bad for democracy. Plus, he uses DOJ and FBI and everything he can to go after an opponent. And nothing has ever happened like that in this country. Now,
why is that Biden's fault?
in banana republics, but so far it hasn't, but it's happened here. And I think it's.
That's because you fucked up. You got caught. Thought you could get away with it. Thought you were going to get elected again.
To be indicted. but it sure as hell has helped the polls, hasn't it? Because I've never had polls like that. No, he's bad for democracy, and it would have given him new authority. The bill would have given him new authority to grant mass asylum, which, by the way, Bird Brain loves mass asylum. There's nothing nice about her. I will never run against President Trump. He is a great president, the greatest president in my lifetime, which is actually quite a bit now. The greatest president.
The greatest president in my lifetime. That's actually quite a bit now. What does that mean?
She brought her husband. Where's her husband? Oh, he's away. He's away. What happened to her husband? What happened to her husband? Where is he? He's gone.
Am I missing something on that? Is there a news story out there about Nikki Haley's husband? Is there something I'm missing? Why is he asking where Nikki Haley's husband is? Yeah, exactly. Pretty hypocritical. But I don't get it. Like, is there something wrong? Did he, you know what I mean? Am I missing something? Somebody in the chat? Anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat know what's going on? Where is Mel? Good question, Mike. Good question. No, I don't. I'm not aware of anything, any dispute. I mean, again, why get personal? I mean, just the personal attacks is all he has. Whatever the fuck, bird brain. Oh, there. Hey, Mel. There she is. It's just, it's ridiculous. The whole fucking, the fact that he has to call it bird brain, he has no idea what the fuck that means, why he says it.
He knew. But no, think of this. I will never run against you, sir, but it's all over tape. We've got like 19 the great Dan Scavino, he made 19 versions of it. I will never run against him. Will you run against him? I will never.
This is fact. So her husband's in the U.S. military, or was in the U.S. military. Okay, so the whole chat. Yep, her husband's overseas like that. Okay, so what Donald Trump's doing here is, once again, denigrating, demeaning, showing zero respect for somebody that serves in the armed forces of the United States of America to serve and protect the people of this country. Why he would be asking where her husband is if he's serving in the United States fucking military is just ridiculous. Holy shit. And I think I did know that before. I'm not sure which branch he's in, but I do remember that. So, I mean, props to him. Thank you to him. And I'm sure it must be tough for Nikki to be doing this without, her main support system. And I'm no fan of Nikki Haley's, but I mean, let's just be real. People are people, and it would be tremendously helpful to have the person you love around, as I clearly know. All right, back to it.
A little while later, I'd like to announce my candidacy. We don't need people like this. And I'll tell you what, she did a job. She was fine. She was okay. But I didn't put her there because I wanted her there at the United Nations. That was up to me. I wanted to take your lieutenant governor, who's right here, and make him governor.
Wait.
That's
okay,
what I wanted.
okay, let's go, Trumpy.
Right here, the United Nations. She did a job. She was fine. She was okay. But I didn't put her there because I wanted her there at the United Nations. That was up to me. I wanted to take your lieutenant governor, who's right here, and make him governor.
One more time for the people in the back.
We don't need people like this. And I'll tell you what, she did a job. She was fine. She was okay. But I didn't put her there because I wanted her there at the United Nations. That was up to me. I
didn't put her there because I wanted her there. That was up to me. Is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Honestly. Like, am I the crazy one here? Am I the one losing my fucking mind? Because we all know, we've seen this guy talk enough. We all know that somewhere down the line in his speech, he's going to say that she cannot perform on the world stage, that she doesn't belong in the same room with the leaders of, say, China or Russia. Yet, in order to make his buddy lieutenant governor, he puts her in the position of ambassador to the United. It can't be me.
Take your lieutenant governor, who's right here, and make him governor. That's what I wanted. And I wanted you to have Peggy as a first lady. Get the best first lady. So that's, I'm interested in that too. Because this man, when I was campaigning, for a long time, I got along with her, made contributions to the governor. She'd always called contributions, for years. And then I decided to run, and I said, one person I know I have is Nikki. I have Nikki Haley. Tricky Nikki. I have Haley. And so now I announce, and I call various people, I have Nikki Haley. Tricky Nikki. Nikki. With her, made contributions.
Is he workshopping that one? Is he workshopping the Tricky Nikki? Oh, Jesus Christ.
To the governor, she'd always called contributions, for years. And then I decided to run, and I said, one person I know I have is Nikki.
You said Tricky
I have
Nikki.
Nikki Haley. Tricky Nikki.
Tricky Nikki.
I have Haley. And so now I announce, and I call various people for endorsements. I don't think they mean much unless it's my endorsement, right, Henry?
Unless it's
It
my
doesn't mean
endorsement, right?
much. And she didn't return my call. This years ago. And then I call her again. Finally, she returns. No, I'm sorry. I'm with somebody else. I won't tell you who because it happens to be now a friend of mine. We've all unified and friends. But you know what? It's not China. No, it's not China.
France? Say we all
But
unified in France?
Years ago. And then I call her again. Finally, she returns. No, I'm sorry. I'm with somebody else. I won't tell you who because it happens to be now a friend of mine. We've all unified and friends. But you know what? It's not China.
We've all unified in
Finally,
France.
she returns. No, I'm sorry. I'm with somebody else. I won't tell you who because it happens to be now a friend of mine. We've all unified and friends. But you know what? It's not China. No, it's not
Am I
China.
missing that? Am I like? All right, one more time. I know I hate stopping and rewinding because I know it's annoying for you guys, but I think it's important when we have to figure out what the fuck this guy is saying. I don't know if he's trying to say friends again or if he's saying in France.
She didn't return my call. This years ago. And then I call her again. Finally, she returns. No, I'm sorry. I'm with somebody else. I won't tell you who because it happens to be now a friend of mine. We've all unified and friends. But you know what? It's
We've
not
all
China. No, it's not China.
We've all unified in France?
No, the lieutenant governor believed in Donald Trump. He believed
Bye,
in me.
Chris. Later, brother. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, guys. If you haven't, I do appreciate it. Also, check out patreon.com/BostonBrian if you can. Lots of good videos on there. If it's to your liking, I would greatly appreciate it. Because I'm looking to quit my fucking job, to be honest. I never said that out loud. Let's go.
We won. And I'll never forget my speech. I said, I would much rather have the lieutenant governor than the governor. This is after we won. And everyone understood exactly what I meant. But he became the governor, and you're one of the most popular governors and maybe the best governor in the whole country.
If you're looking to remove somebody as their positioner as governor, right? Obviously, you don't think they're doing a good enough job. Obviously, you think you have somebody better for the position. Obviously, in this case, the lieutenant governor. Why the fuck would you make that person ambassador to the UN? Like, is that the natural progression of a governor that you don't like the way she's handling things? Is to then, I don't know, put her in charge of hugely important foreign policies we have to carry out? It just, none of what he says makes sense. He contradicts himself in his own fucking speech.
Country. Oh, he didn't expect to build up like that. He didn't think he doesn't, and he doesn't even care. He just wants to do his job. He's a great gentleman. That's a great couple. Thank you very much, and Peggy, thank you very much. Appreciate it. What Crooked Joe is doing to our border is a crime against this nation, but he will not get away with it. We're not gonna allow these horrible offenses to take place. He'll be tried by the ballot box. You know that? He's going to be tried in, by, and for the ballot box in November. I have to say that, otherwise the fake news would say, oh, he was very threatening. Remember when Biden used to say, well, I'd like to take him behind the barn and punch him. If he ever punched me,
That makes, let's see here. Let's see. That makes a 177 of us, 67 of us. So the 167 people in here and me and Joe Biden would just love to have a discussion with you behind any building. But let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see what he's going to say when what he would do if Joe Biden were to.
Was very threatening. Remember when Biden used to say, well, I'd like to take him behind the barn and punch him. If he ever punched me, it wouldn't last long. That's one wouldn't last. No. Wouldn't last.
I don't think that's the way you want to say that. I'm just not sure that's what you mean by that. Typically, what I say is, if you were to punch me, it would be the last punch you ever threw. That's, gets the point across, meaning that you're not going to get another chance to throw another punch. Not that if he were to punch you in the face, it's going to be over quickly because you're just going to drop like a sack of fucking jelly wrapped in orange skin. But what are you going to do?
1, 2, 3 seconds. I'd go like this. That would be the end. That would be the end. I wouldn't have to be violent. No, but when he said it, the fake news said, "Oh, that's so cute. That's so nice." He's threatening to hit the hell out of me, and they thought it was nice. Now, if I said I'd punch him in the face, he'd go down like a ton of lard. Remember that expression? Ton of lard. They'd say he's a fascist.
Yeah, again, not the expression that I've ever heard, at least.
I'd punch him in the face, he'd go down like a ton of lard. Remember that expression? Ton of lard.
Is that again, is that real? Is this a real thing that I'm missing? A ton of lard is a thing? Because I always thought it was a ton of bricks, but maybe in Boston it just hasn't come up. Maybe we use bricks and they use lard down south. Maybe that's why. Maybe the lard hasn't migrated up to Boston here yet, and we're just stuck with bricks, But what the fuck, man? A tub of lard. You remember that expression? No, because I just fucking made it up.
They'd say, he's a fascist. It's terrible what he said. By the way, we have a group of a lot of women. You love North Carolina, right? Okay. We have a lot of, they followed me now. This is the 100.
Yes, it's lard, everybody. Lard. So, like, if they were to send their tub of lard, it actually sounds like I'm saying one word. Tub of lard. It's a tub of lard. You're just going to go down like a tub of lard. I kind of like that now. If I were to ever see Donald Trump behind the barn, I would knock him over like a ton of lard. And then I would get in my car and drive to Harvard and have a beer at the bar and would be all set.
129th rally that they've attended. Could I ask them, even though it's North Carolina, it's close enough, right? We love North Carolina. Would you stand up, please? Look at these people. Look at these people.
All right.
Beautiful women.
Did he just say it was North Carolina? Or is he just recognizing people from North Carolina?
We have a lot of, they followed me now. This is the 129th rally that they've attended. Could I ask them, even though it's North Carolina, it's close enough, right? We love North Carolina. Would you stand up, please? Look at these people. Look at these people. Beautiful women. You're not allowed to say that anymore, but I'll say it. You are not allowed to say beautiful women.
Yes, you are allowed to say beautiful women. You're just not allowed to grab those beautiful women by their pussy without, prior consent, let's say. You fucking sick prick.
That usually is the end of a career, but I'll say it. They're beautiful women. They're incredible women. They're smart. The only thing I don't understand, I see one husband. They're good. Their husbands are home 129 times. What the hell are they doing? What did they say?
Their husbands are home 129 times? What the fuck?
You are not allowed to say beautiful women. That usually is the end of a career, but I'll say it. They're beautiful women. They're incredible women. They're smart. The only thing I don't understand, I see one husband. They're good. Their husbands are home 129 times. What the hell are they doing? What are they?
Oh, he's talking about the women come, but the husbands stay home. And yeah, he wasn't saying that he was in North Carolina. He was referencing people from North Carolina that follow him around the country.
She lives in North Carolina, and she named the baby with Eric. Named the baby Carolina. No discourse. I said, is that north or the south? They said, it's both. It's both. So she's great. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
What?
As you probably know, 2 days
They
ago,
named their baby Carolina. And Trump's question was...
She named the baby with Eric. Named the baby Carolina. No discourse. I said, is that north or the south? They said, it's both. It's both. So she's great. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. As you probably know, 2 days ago, the Biden Department of Injustice let Crooked Joe off the hook for some of his very egregious crimes, including his brazen theft of classified documents long before he was ever president. He's been doing this for 50 years.
He still doesn't know.
I remember a certain...
He still doesn't know the facts of the case. I mean, with all his litigation he's going through, how could he know the facts of anybody else's case? He doesn't know the facts of his own fucking life. He doesn't know how much square footage is in his own fucking building that he built. But no, just because some of the documents were pertaining to things happening when Joe Biden was a senator, it doesn't mean he took them out when he was a senator.
Certain senator got up and said, no way he did that. No way. But he did it. He took them when he was a senator. You can't do it. Now, in my case, I'm covered by the Presidential Records Act. I'm allowed to do what I do. But he wasn't covered. He was a vice president, not covered, and he was a senator. But this is yet more proof that we have a weaponized two-tier system of justice in this country. Crooked Joe got off scot-free. Now, I don't know if you call it scot-free. They said he was a mental basket case. Okay, so I wouldn't say it's totally scot-free. In fact, I think maybe if I had my choice.
In what has to be one of the most unprofessional, just most egregious, I don't even know how to fucking put it. Like, the wording of that report, I don't know. It's just like, it was like written by Donald Trump. It was like he was mad that he couldn't charge him with anything, so he kind of had to stick it to Joe Biden in a different way. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. Unfortunately, I do think it's having an impact. I don't know how big of an impact, but once this is done, I want to show you a clip of what they're talking about in London and what they're talking about in the UK pertaining to the wording of that report. And it's I got to say, it's a little scary. It's a little scary, not going to lie to you.
Choice, I'd take the other. I'd go through a little process, but that's better than what happened. But they said he was a disaster mentally, and he willfully stole gigantic numbers of classified documents, willful. But because of his condition mentally,
Wilfa.
Is this guy going to make it to the starting gate, sir? But they said he was a disaster mentally, and He willfully stole gigantic numbers of classified documents, but because of his condition mentally, is this guy going to make it? What happened? But they said he was a disaster mentally, and he willfully stole gigantic numbers of classified documents, but because of his condition mentally.
Wilfa, you know, Wilfa, you know, that just standard universal abbreviation for willfully. Wilfa. Why say the whole word when you can just say Wilfa? Everybody knows what you're talking about anyway, right?
Is this guy going to make it to the starting gate, seriously?
Are you?
Well, it shows you the power of incumbency, doesn't it? If that happens, it's just sort of an incredible thing. But I've been saying no, but you never know. Be the first time I've been wrong in a long time, right? Trump was right about everything. We called every war. We called every single problem. And we would have never had any of those problems. We wouldn't have had Israel attack. We wouldn't have had Ukraine and Russia fighting and killing everybody.
Lies.
And blowing up their cities. And we wouldn't have had inflation because it was started by energy.
It was started by you asshole. Because you didn't take the pandemic seriously and you let it get as bad as it did. And this is the fucking result, buddy. And honestly, it could have been a lot fucking worse, just to let everybody know. We could have taken a lot longer for this country to come out of the pandemic. We could have lost a lot more fucking jobs. We could have, you know, entire necessary industries could have entirely shut down. But it hasn't. The United States has recovered faster than any country on earth. Fastest growing economy, fastest growing, getting jobs back, the GDP. Like I said, there's a lot of upsides. There's a lot of positives right now going on in this country, and it's a shame that they're being overshadowed by public perception, because I think that's what the Democrats' problem is right now. I don't think it's actually getting shit done in Joe Biden's accomplishments. I think he can tout those until he's blue in the face. But unless people actually see every day when they go to the grocery store and at the gas pump and you know, whatever they're buying, until they see that, you know, not hitting their wallets in the way that it is now, I'm scared that it's not going to have the impact. I'm you know, like I said, people aren't hugely aware of who affects those prices, and the president tends to get some of the blame on that, most of the blame, for people that don't know better.
It was started by oil, gasoline, which doubled, more than doubled. But these documents, stuffing them in his drawers, stashing them in crumpled boxes, and those boxes were heavily used. You know, when you look at those boxes, those suckers were in and out. A lot of people saw those documents. They didn't see the ones we had. We had them locked up, and we had Secret Service all the time because I was president all the time.
Yes.
And
yes, folks. Yes, folks. That's what it was. That's what it was. Documents. This is how slow I type, so forgive me. I'm going lefty. Okay. And then we're going to go up to this. And then we're going to do a little bit of this. And then I'm going to share this tab instead. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bigger. All right, guys. This is, I'm just going to leave this on the screen while he's talking. Nope, I don't want that to play. I'm just going to leave that on the screen as he's talking. Nope, he's talking. Why is he talking? Stop talking. Stop talking. Shut up. All right, we'll leave it like that. Look at that. I mean, doesn't that look safe to you guys? That's safe, right? That is secure. I mean, if you were to go in there and take a shit, you could lock the door behind you. Nobody could get in there while you're taking a shit. Now, while you're done, obviously you can't lock the door from the outside of a bathroom, so anybody on earth that is at that establishment could go in there and just rummage around. But while you're in there, they're safe. They're safe, people.
them strewn all over the garage for his precious Corvette. You ever hear him talk about the Corvettes? My
What was it?
Corvette?
What was that?
You can
What
cut
was
that.
that?
They
Where
didn't
do you
see
have
the
them?
ones we had. We had them locked up, and we had Secret Service all the time because I was president all the time. And leaving them strewn all over the garage for his precious Corvette. You ever hear him talk about the Corvettes? My Corvette?
The garage.
You
What?
can cut that garage door with the scissors. And leaving them strewn all over the garage for his precious Corvette. The ones we had them locked up, and we had Secret Service all the time because I was president all the time. And leaving them
Because
strewn
I
all
was
over the garage
president
for
all the time. That's it. It's over. Because he was president all the time. Well, that's too good. He was president all the time. Oh, this is great. This is great. We got to do this. We got to do this more often. We just have to do this more often. This is fun. It's fun. That's what it is. It's just all right. Gather oneself. Gather oneself. And we're going to listen to that one more time. And I want to know why he can't say the word floor and what the fuck he's talking about in this instance right here. That's what we're going to do.
Look at those boxes. Those suckers were in and out. A lot of people saw those documents. They didn't see the ones we had. We had them locked up, and we had Secret Service all the time because I was president all the time. And leaving them strewn all over the garage.
I can't.
We called every war. We called every single problem.
I might not get past
And
this
we
point.
would have
in the
never
speech,
had
guys.
any of those problems. We were
I might not get past this point. I might just have to watch this over and over again.
fighting and killing everybody and blowing up their cities. And we wouldn't have had inflation because it was started by energy. It was started by oil, gasoline, which doubled, more than doubled. But these documents, stuffing them in his drawers, stashing them in crumpled boxes. And those boxes were heavily used. You know, when you look at those boxes, those suckers were in and out. A lot of people saw those documents. They didn't see the ones we had. We had them locked up, and we had Secret Service all the time because I was president all the time. And leaving them strewn all over the garage for his precious Corvette. You ever hear him talk about the Corvettes? My Corvette? You can cut that garage door with the scissors. You know, flimsy is the word. You can take up scissors and just go like this. Those are the ones you buy for $139, right? The whole door. Not including the...
Oh, come on, dude.
You can
How is
take
this
up
real
scissors
life?
and just go like this. Those are the ones you buy for $139, right? The whole door. Not including the motor. On top of it all, Biden aides deleted incriminating evidence after the appointment of the special counsel. So I did behave with the special. I was very nice. I knew exactly what they were doing. It was election interference. I knew it exactly. As soon as I got even a call, this was election interference. I knew that. But we worked with them. We were going to give them whatever they needed. They came over to Mar-a-Lago. It was all very nice. In fact, I even treated them to lunch. I wasn't there, but I treated them to lunch. Obviously, I should have.
We got KFC, Taco Bell, Mickey Donald's, and Burger King for the special counsel, Jack Smith. And this is how he treats me. Got him a double with fries and a large Coke. And he indicted me. Can you believe it?
Should have treated them to dinner. The lunch wasn't good enough, right? But I understood. But despite all of the facts, I was actually president, and the president has tremendous powers of declassification authority, etc. We did everything right. Biden's thugs are still trying to put me in jail on fake charges for crimes that they openly admit that Crooked Joe did. He actually did these crimes. Now, I'm not looking for anything to happen to this guy. He wouldn't know the difference. I mean, I don't think he even knows the difference. She goes, we are. That's like, there'll be no revenge. No revenge. Does everybody agree? No revenge. No revenge. But this is selective political persecution, not prosecution, persecution. If there was one shred of honesty or decency left in the radical left Democrat Party, and there's not, but it's a radical left, they've gone so far off. Open borders, high interest rates, horrible what they're teaching your children in school. A woke military. We have a great military, but it's headed by woke people at the top. They're trying to change it. Not going to happen. We defeated ISIS in 4 weeks. Everyone said it would take 4 years. We did it in 4 weeks. We have a great military.
When you come in and you finish the job that many others before you have started, you cannot just claim that you did the whole thing by yourself. It's just not how the fuck it works. I don't. Right.
But the Biden DOJ, the entire phony boxes hoax against your favorite president and me would be immediately dropped. Everybody says it. We had 3 or 4 legal scholars today say, well, that's the end of that case against Trump, because you can't have one guy get out.
Who? Name them.
And then
who are these scholars? Who are these legal scholars? Please name them. Why wouldn't you name them? Why would you not name them if you had legal scholars coming out in favor of your side of the case? Considering what you're facing, why would you not tout the names and the credibility of these people? That's what I would do.
And another guy who did nothing wrong, he did tremendous wrong. And I'm not even asking, because if you look back, all presidents have taken a lot of stuff. I mean, that would mean every president, including Obama, Clinton, Bush, every one of them would right now be in the who's gal. That wouldn't look too good in history, would it? But we did everything right. He did everything wrong. Presidents have taken a lot of stuff. I mean, that would mean every president, including Obama, Clinton, Bush, every one of them would right now be in the who's gal. That wouldn't look too good in history, would it? But
what does he
we
say?
did everything right. He did everything wrong. And taken a lot of stuff. I mean, that would mean every president, including...
Does anybody know what he's saying? Where would they be?
Every one of them would right now be in the who's gal. That wouldn't look too good in history, would it? But we did everything right. He did everything wrong.
The who's gal?
And what they should do is that case should be dropped immediately by deranged Jack Smith. Did you ever hear of deranged Jack Smith? He's a prosecutor.
Hold on. Time out.
He's prosecuted a lot of people.
Time the fuck out. What the fuck is a who's gal? I feel like I'm being punked every time I listen to this guy. Somebody's who's gal. Petrazi, you said it's who's gal, not who's gal. Does that mean you know what the fuck he's talking about? Please enlighten me if you do. Is that like... I don't know. Is that supposed to be like the gulag or something? Gotcha. Fuck. How the fuck does he know that? What is it? Is that German? Who's gal? Fuck am I supposed to know what a who's gal is? All right, see, there's always smarter people in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. You learn something every day. You know what's weird? I did Babbel German to learn German for like fucking 6 months too. I should probably know that. But can't learn them all.
Well, and he loses in the end because he goes too far. He's one of those guys. He goes so crazy. He goes so, that's why we call him deranged.
So it's not German. Not a good.
And restoring fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law. The special counsel's report tries to let Biden off by claiming that he is too mentally incompetent to convict at a trial. But if Joe Biden is not fit to charge. They're not going to charge him with a crime, but it's okay for him to become commander-in-chief. Think of that one. Thank you, that one.
This is Nick Douche. I know that means it's not Jordan. Danke. Dankeschön. What's going on here? Oh, yes, heckler. Heckler. You got a heckler? Yes.
That one. Thank you.
Hold on.
Claiming that he is too mentally incompetent.
We got a heckler.
To
My live stream. I like it.
But if Joe Biden is not fit to charge, they're not going to charge him with a crime, but it's okay for him to become commander-in-chief. Think of that one. Thank you, that one.
We got a heckler. I don't see him. Anybody see him?
All right, thank you very much. Just a little
Who's
interlude.
that? Come on. Right here? Is this it? Yeah, right here. So, I mean, what better way to, get the crowd going after a heckler than an F Joe Biden chant? Because that's, sure.
Too much.
Little interlude. Used to happen all
I
the
used
time,
to
folks.
say to people,
doesn't happen now.
You go get them. You go get them. And then I got sued. So I said, what the hell? So now I say, please treat them kindly. This way I don't get sued. Please treat them kindly. They're lovely people. Go home to mom. But we know that Joe Biden has always been too mentally incompetent. Is he gone? I think he's gone. We don't have that. Remember, we used to have it all the time. And I used to get angry with the camera because they never show the crowd. They'll never show the crowd outside, which is many times the size of the crowd inside. They never do. But I used to get angry. And then I figured it must be the equipment. But I used to complain. They'd show me, my face, and a few of the people right back there, very attractive people. But they would never. It's true.
Very attractive.
But they would never show the crowd, and I'd complain. I'd call them up. I'd call Fox, would call everybody, would say, why aren't you showing the crowd? Because it's so impressive. And then I realized it's very expensive equipment. It's probably new, steel cable, steel bars, so you can't turn. And then we had a couple of incidents like that, and that equipment was able to turn like a pretzel. It was like over, around, down, under. They'd get chin shots. They got over the head shots. And
What?
then I realized it was just fake news. They don't sell. Everybody would say, why are out?
What?
True. But they would never show the crowd, and I'd complain. I'd call them up. I'd call Fox, would call everybody, would say, why aren't you showing the crowd? Because it's so impressive. And then I realized it's very expensive equipment. It's probably new, steel cable, steel bars, so you can't turn. And then we had a couple of
I don't know. Literally in the intermissions of when they're waiting for Trump to speak, RSBN plays a clip that they have already pre-made that literally says they're known for panning the crowds at the Trump speeches. And they had to put that in there because he says this shit. And because the only cameras there are either at his campaign cameras RSBN, OAN, Newsmax, and fucking whatever other little Catholic, Christian broadcast companies they got going on there. That's it. It's all people that are sympathetic and like Donald Trump. So just
of incidents like that, and that equipment was able to turn like a pretzel. It was like over, around, down, under. They'd get chin shots. They got over the head shots.
chin shots.
And then I realized it was just fake news. They don't like seeing crowds like this because it just happens. I mean, it's crazy. But this is far bigger than what we had. And this is 10 months out. I mean, this is far bigger than, look, nobody had more spirit than we had in 2016 and 2020. Again, much more than 2016. Much more than 2016. Bad thing happens, bad things. But this blows both of them away. There's never been spirit. And the reason is, you like me. Do you ever see where they say, well, we have two people running. I love this. These people, they're so dis. We have two people running, and they're both extremely unpopular. I'm not unpopular. I'm 92% in the Republican Party. I'm not unpopular.
No. What? When? What? Where is this 92%? What is this 92% bullshit? Did you get 92% of the vote in Iowa? Did you get 92% of the vote in New Hampshire, sir? No, I don't think you did. I don't think you did.
I mean, brain dead. She's got, you know what she's got? Like 12%. She's got 12%. There was a poll came out today, 87 to like 9, and they're 3% undecided. 3%. No, we gotta win this thing. We have to win it big. We have to win, not against her. That's irrelevant. We have to win it.
I think he won.
That's why you have to vote.
I'm pretty sure he won 2016 with like 96% or 97% of Republicans voting for him. So that's why his numbers now are so telling. The fact that he can only get, what was it, 51% in Iowa. He only won, 12 delegates in New Hampshire. Nikki Haley got, 8 or 9 out of that one. So he didn't really smoke it in that one either.
In November, we're going to win. We're going to take it all back. And this is sending out the signal, just like in Iowa, just like in New Hampshire, just like the Virgin Islands. You know, they said, oh, she worked hard on the Virgin Islands. You know what she got? Nothing. The real problem facing our country is not Joe Biden's decline. The real problem is that Joe Biden is causing America's decline. He's causing it. Who the hell would allow people to pour into our country? Who would allow this to happen? We built.
So it took him, let's see, it took him 38 minutes. We'll say 37 minutes from the time he proudly said how they killed the bill that was supposed to help the southern border and the influx of migrants. 38 minutes after that, he's now blaming Joe Biden for that same thing that they didn't vote for. And it just, hello, come on, McFly, are you there?
561 miles of wall. We were ready to put up another 200, way over what I projected and said. We were going to put up another 200. Everything was done. It was all made. Fantastic people. Tom Homan, you know Tom Homan, the great Tom Homan. I think he's here someplace. Brandon Judd from Border Patrol. The people from ICE are represented. ICE, how about ICE? They walk into a pack of the toughest gangs. They just walk in. You don't see anything happening except fists are flying. And then 2 minutes later, you see them walk out carrying real thugs, dangerous people, people that
real ones,
kill
not
young
the fake
girls
ones.
walking to school. They knife them. They use.
Is he trying to say that people are being knifed on their way to school? Is that what's about to come out of his mouth? Is that what the story is? Is that how he's trying to drum up fear in the United States by thinking that asylum seekers are somehow just randomly stabbing little girls on their way to school? Is that what's happening? Okay.
into a pack of the toughest gangs. They just walk in. You don't see anything happening except fists are flying. And then 2 minutes later, you see them walk out carrying real thugs, dangerous people, people that kill young girls walking to school. They knife them. They use a knife, not a gun, because it's more painful. These are real bad people. And the job that ICE does, we took out.
Has he been shot before? Does he know somehow that it's less painful to get shot than it is to be stabbed? I would assume, one would assume that it hurts pretty badly to get shot. Just gonna throw that out there. I don't know why he's talking about. Well, Shelley, this is what he's doing. He's gonna try to scare everybody. This is happening probably nowhere. He can probably come up with zero stories to, back this up in any way, shape, or form. But he's going to use it to try to scare and continue to scare the American people into believing that the crisis that they keep saying is a crisis at the southern border is somehow this mass invasion, when in reality, I mean, if you just saw Harriet Hageman just posted a video, I think yesterday or the day before on Twitter, where she's at the southern border, nobody in sight, nothing but the wall and some pieces from the wall. No huge invasion, no people coming by. Just that's the reality. That's the reality right there. So
Thousands and thousands of MS-13, the toughest gang, right, Lieutenant Governor? The toughest gang in the world. We took out thousands of them, and ICE did it. ICE is very incredible, brave patriots, really, and they don't get treated with respect, just like our great police officers. They do not get treated with the kind of respect.
Which is why I'm going to give every police officer in the United States amnesty. They can just have carte blanche to commit any crimes they want, beat people up, assault people. They don't need justification. No, nothing to warrant them to actually stop these people or anything. But we're gonna make sure that if a police officer is standing on the neck of somebody for several minutes and that person dies, that they don't get prosecuted for that, because we don't want that. Who wants dirty cops prosecuted? Every now and again, you get a bad apple. You don't stop eating apples, right? That's right. You just throw away the bad one. But in this case, you don't want to throw away the bad one. You want to keep the bad one and make sure that the bad one infects all the other apples so that you can't eat any apples. It's good. It's good. Strong politics.
In everything he does, crooked Joe Biden puts illegal aliens first. He puts Ukraine first. He puts China first. Well, he has to put China first. He gets paid off by China. The guy gets millions of dollars. He gets millions of dollars. Why the hell wouldn't he put him first?
Yes, millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Let's go. Let's go. Bear with me. China economy drop. Okay. Let's see. We'll go to news. See China. There we go. Let's see here. We're going to share this tab. I'm going to make it a little bigger for you so you can see it. I'm going to accept the cookies. What's that say here, guys? What's that say? China's prices fall at fastest rate in 15 years as economy battles deflation. Now, anybody that watches Hal's show knows that he explained to you very well what the difference between inflation and deflation is, right? So, let's IMF predicts China economy slowing over the next 4 years. That's another one. It's from CNN. China's economy. Let's see, China's economy in trouble. Here's what's gone wrong. Yeah, so Joe Biden's bribes that he took from China are obviously paying off just in spades for China. I mean, just the growth China is seeing right now and the economic recovery and just boom that they're seeing right now because of the bribes that they gave Joe Biden is just insane. And this is all satire, what I'm saying now, because obviously China's economy is in the shits. Everything. China has lost $6 trillion since Joe Biden took office. So how's that bribe working for you? Going well? Good. Awesome. Sorry. Hold on.
Reveal, because they know how much he really got. You know, Congress has done a good job, but it's many times if they find that it's a little bit like the border when they say that so many people were screened, they don't talk about the millions of people that came through. They come through the border, millions of people, and nobody knows what's going on. What's happening there is so bad. But when you look at it, he puts all of these countries first. He puts Hamas first. He puts Hezbollah first. He puts the environmental maniacs first. And I'm all for the environment. Nobody is more for it than me. But they're trying to destroy our country. You know, China is now building a coal plant a week. And we're not building anything. We're not building anything.
How long ago is that
windmills aren't
talking point
working.
from?
The most
How long ago did that talking point come out that China is building a coal plant a week? Shit. I know that's old. I know that's old. And I know with the state of the Chinese economy that there's absolutely no fucking way that they're doing that.
expensive form of energy ever. Germany tried it. They wanted to go for
I'll be right
windmills
back.
and solar. They would have been out of business in about 3 months. Can't fire up the big factories, can't do it. And you have clean, beautiful natural gas. You have clean coal. You have great things. We have more, by the way, we have more liquid gold under our feet, right? Mr. Congressman, great job you did. Great speech. Great speech, Michael. But they put everyone first except us. He puts America last, and he puts our workers last. He puts our safety last. We don't know. You know, the people coming into our country, many, many terrorists coming in. They just did this chart on one of the fake news stations. I couldn't believe it. This is real news. 2019, they showed that under Trump, there were no terrorists. We had all sorts of bans. We had bans on everything. We didn't like people. We didn't like countries. We didn't like what was happening in the country. We didn't let them in. But we had big bans, and we got approval through the Supreme Court of the United States. It was very controversial. But we never had a terrorist attack during the 4 years that I was president, and we won't again. We won't again. Won't happen. You know, I wanted to talk about that so
When was the
badly.
terrorist attack under Joe
During my
Biden?
term,
I'm curious.
I said, you know, it's 2.5 years, 3 years, 3.5 years. I wanted to talk about it, Michael. I wanted to say, we never had a terrorist, but I didn't want to, I was afraid what might happen the next day. But we got through 4 years without an attack, and they knew they can't attack. They can't attack when Trump is president. Not going to happen.
And by that same logic, it seems that people know that you can't attack the United States under Joe Biden either, considering there hasn't been a fucking attack under Joe Biden.
Because as your president, I put America first every single time, every day, and every night. But before we can defeat crooked Joe Biden this November, we first turn, and we have to, the page forever on America Last. He actually says, we've got to stop MAGA. Do you ever see him? Like, how about the scene where he had like the devil's colors behind him, right? And he's up there. Now, fortunately, he was stuttering badly, and he just.
The devil's colors. And by that, he means just red. Just a red background. That's all. Just a red background with some Marines. Somehow, this alpha male, Donald Trump, was intimidated by that setup. And he's going to explain to us why.
And this is not from any problem other than the brain's not working too well. We got to put America, make America great again. Oh, is that what it means? Because he doesn't know. If you asked him, what does MAGA stand for? He would not be able to tell you. And I've called for cognitive tests. I actually think anybody running for president should have tests. I think, and I pass them every time.
Oh,
Dr. Ronnie Jackson gave me.
At what point do you take this out of the speech, boss? Honestly, Like, at what point do you go to the guy and just be like, you know what? I think we might have to take that, like the whole cognitive thing out of the speech, because it's just, you sound like an idiot telling people that you can name a whale and a fucking giraffe, and that you have to name 6 things but only name 5 things. It's not working for you, bud. Like, can we? No, okay, you'll do it. You're gonna do it. All right, you can. No, yeah, go ahead. I just was trying to make it. Good, you can do it. Go ahead.
Gave me the first one. Anybody running for president? I don't think Nikki would pass the test. I really don't. But anybody running for president, regardless of age, I think they should pass the test. Vice president, certain positions, they say it's not constitutional. I'd be willing to waive it. Let's waive that. But I think they should. Haley is the candidate of globalists and warmongers who want to spend trillions and trillions of dollars on endless wars. She's always in favor of fighting wars. You know, during my term, we defeated ISIS. We knocked out the worst terrorists in the world. You know that. We took out the worst terrorists, the 2 of them.
He's trying to think of his name.
You know who they are.
He's trying to think of his name.
Don't have to
He's trying to think of his
names.
name.
Everyone knows who they
You
are.
can't think of the names.
Soleimani, you know.
Yep,
right?
he couldn't think of the fucking names.
And warmongers who want to spend trillions
Check
and
this
trillions
out.
of dollars on endless wars. She's always in favor of fighting wars. You know, during my term, we defeated ISIS. We knocked out the worst terrorists in the world. You know that. We took out the worst terrorists, the 2 of them. You know who they are.
Can't think of his name. Can't fucking think of his name.
Took them out. Don't have to mention the names. Everyone knows
If you don't have to mention the names, why, when you think of it, do you mention the names?
who they are. Soleimani, you know
Yep.
that,
There you go. So you remembered one of them. What's the other one?
right?
Al-Baghdadi.
You know,
There you go.
founder.
There you go. Was it on the telly? Was it on the teleprompter? Did you have to go to the teleprompter for that one? Is that what you had to do? Donald, did you go to the teleprompter for that one? I didn't think you needed the telly. I thought you did everything off the top of your head. Everything was just, free flowing out of that mouth. But you had to go to the telly. Did you? You wanker.
The founder of ISIS. We took him out. Soleimani, the head of, he was, I think, the Iranians actually, they were so afraid of this guy. He was a vicious guy. Father of the
He was the
roadside
head of the
bomb.
Iranians were afraid of this guy.
Al-Baghdadi, you know, the founder of ISIS. We took him out. Soleimani, the head of, he was, I think, the Iranians actually, they were so afraid of this guy. He was a vicious guy. Father of the roadside bomb. All of the soldiers that some in this room, I saw some in this room, where they lost their legs, their arms, they got badly, so badly, but he was.
Which is why after about 3 or 4 of the, the veterans that I had to receive coming home in their coffins, that I just, figured I'd send the vice president instead, because it meant that much to me that I didn't want to be there, when our fallen soldiers were returned to the country that they served so proudly and gave their lives to defend. Because that's what presidents do.
We took him out. And al-Baghdadi, the founder of ISIS, trying to rebuild it again. I wiped it out. I wiped him out. I wiped it out. We got him done. Conan, remember Conan the dog, right? Conan. We gave Conan a medal. Conan the dog. Conan was pretty warm. That was the last thing he heard was Conan running at him. But they're gone, and we defeated, and we didn't go into one war. I'm the first president in 76
Not
years
one
that
worm.
didn't get into a war. First one.
Not one worm, guys. They did not get into one worm.
We didn't go into one war. I'm the first president in 76 years that didn't get in. We defeated. It was Conan running at him. But they're
Not
gone,
one
and
worm.
we defeated, and we didn't go into one war. I'm the first president in 76 years that didn't get into a war. First one. It's a big
Hold on, here's a
thing.
question. Here's a
It's
question.
easy to go into war.
It is easy to go into wars. You know what's hard is getting out of wars. So can you please explain to me which wars you got us out of, sir? Because it wasn't Syria, it wasn't the drone strikes. You didn't decrease those. You didn't get us out of Afghanistan. You released 5,000 Taliban members. Which war did you end? Because starting them is easy, but ending them is difficult. And what Joe Biden did was got our ass out of Afghanistan. So Joe Biden got the hard part accomplished.
War. You know, we rebuilt the military. It's easy to go into war. We're going to go in and knock the hell out of somebody. We have the best equipment in the world because of me. I rebuilt the military. We had fighter jets that were 53 years old. And we have all brand new F-35s now. And we have the greatest military in.
We don't have all brand new F-35s. We don't have just a fleet of F-35s that is all that the United States military uses. I'm not even sure he would know the difference between like the Air Force, the Army, Air Corps. I don't you know what I mean? I don't understand. I don't think he knows anything about that whatsoever.
You know, we really do. When I went after ISIS, I was told 4 years, and we took them out in just a matter of weeks. The whole thing gone, 100%.
We did. It was a matter of weeks. We got them 100% eradicated, yet somehow they managed, ISIS-K, to be the ones responsible for the fucking bombing and the destruction when we were leaving Afghanistan. ISIS-K. ISIS was responsible for that. Therefore, you didn't destroy 100% of the caliphate like you're about to say.
And I remember we got it down to 98%. And I said, let's get out of here because Iran doesn't want ISIS. They're enemies, natural enemies. Russia doesn't want. I said, let them finish off the final two. Let's get the hell out of there. I wanted to get out after 20 years of ridiculous spending of billions and trillions of dollars.
But you didn't.
News said, he didn't finish the job.
Because you didn't.
It's 98%. I figured let them take out the two a little. So you know what I said? All right, fellas, go and knock the hell out of them and let's get the hell out. We finished 100%. We knocked out ISIS. General Raisin Cane, right? Raisin, do you know who Raisin Cane is? General Raisin Cane was great. He did a great job. We got some great generals, not the guys you see on television that leave Afghanistan. Let's take the soldiers out first. Let's take the military out first. If I ask a child, there's a beautiful child sitting in the 10th row right there, about 10 years old. If I ask that young man.
Too young for you.
Who do you think?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Too young for you, Don. Turn around. There's at least 3 or 4 behind you that you could pick from that might be adults. Can we not pick on the 11-year-olds? I don't know if Matt Gaetz is there or not, but can we not just shine a light on the young people so Matt Gaetz knows who we can prey on at this rally? Thank you.
What do you think we should do? Should we take the military out first or last? He would tell me, sir, last. What's wrong with you asking me a stupid question like that, sir? We took the military out first. We didn't take our equipment. We left $85 billion worth of equipment. We left the saddest.
No.
We had.
No, we didn't. For those of you, I know you've all heard this before, most of you, but if you haven't, no, we did not leave $85 billion worth of equipment in Afghanistan. That number that he's saying reflects the total dollar amount of equipment we sent to Afghanistan in the entirety of the 20 years we were there. Now, 14 billion of that, I believe, was allocated for the Afghan military, which is the equipment that was actually left behind, most of it, which was destroyed, made unusable. The chips were removed, so you couldn't do anything. They were actually blown up. They were set on fire. I mean, I'm pretty sure the United States military is pretty adept at, making sure they destroy their vehicles as to not leave behind the weapons of war to use against the United States military. That's just, my take on that one. But no, not 85. There's no fucking chance in hell we left $85 billion of military equipment in Afghanistan. It's just insane to say.
13 incredible soldiers. I've gotten to know their families. 13 military killed,
violently
killed,
blown
up.
What's the names of the family? Name the 13 right now. You should be able to name the 13. If you know the families, then you should absolutely be able to spit out those 13 names. Why do you never spit out those 13 names, sir? Why do you never spit out one of the names? There's a reason for that. And once again, you're speaking about people that were killed by ISIS, the caliphate you were talking about that you just destroyed 100% of before, yeah, they were responsible for the attack that you're not talking about.
38 people so
Faces
horrifically
obliterated.
hit, and nobody talks about them. Do you ever hear that? You probably never heard that from anybody else. Nobody talks about the 38 people so badly hit, legs gone, arms gone, faces just so sad. I visited many of them in Walter Reed. By the way, one of the greatest hospitals in the world. So he talks about them. Do you ever hear that? You probably never heard that from anybody else. Nobody talks about the 38 people so badly hit, legs gone, arms gone, faces just so sad. I visited
Faces
many of them
just
in
so
Walter Reed.
sad,
By the
people.
way, one of the greatest hospitals in the world. Those doctors are incredible. What they do is incredible.
Name a doctor. Name a
5
single
years
doctor
ago,
there.
they could have never lived, but
Yes, they
it's
could have.
incredible.
Fucking
38
moron.
so badly.
5 years ago, they couldn't live. Is he? Does he not think that people have been? Does he know about the limbs and the destruction caused by World War One? I mean, we've been dealing with the Civil War, where fucking limbs were cut off on the battlefield. I think we're at this point we're pretty good. Obviously, could be better at patching up soldiers and making sure they get the medical attention they need on the battlefield if they have an injury to that extent. I think we're
hurt. And we left a lot of hostages. We left a lot of Americans there. We got out with the planes. Remember the planes? He said, it'll never be another Vietnam with the helicopters. This made Vietnam look like it was a picnic. It was terrible. People falling off the planes. Remember that scene of the planes leaving, and they had many people sitting on the wings of the planes and the wheels of the planes, and they were falling off at 3,000.
So are you suggesting that we should have taken the entirety of Afghanistan? Is that what you're suggesting? We should have maybe substituted the American citizens that were on those planes for Afghan citizens? Which I feel terribly about the situation that took place on that day. It's horrendous. Tough to watch. People were hurt. People died. But getting out of a war is never going to be easy. Why do you think so many presidents passed up on doing exactly that? Because they know there's no good way to end a war. There's no good way to get a military out of a situation like that. You will never, ever be able to 100% ensure security in a situation like that. Just not possible. And anybody with any knowledge of military tactics and battlefield strategics would know that in a crowd like that, in a situation like that, you cannot ensure security. Which is why I think they did the best they possibly could to get the amount of people they got out in the time frame that they did get them out in.
Feet. That's 3 times the height of the Empire State Building. They were falling off the planes. There was never a scene like that. And there's never been an embarrassment like that in the history of our country. We've never been so embarrassed. And that's why Putin, I believe, because I know Putin very well, very smart, very sharp. They hate when I say that, They say, oh, you called him President Xi of China. I say, very smart man. They ask me, is he smart? I said, well.
Yeah, Putin's so smart. Putin is so smart that it took him 45 fucking minutes to get through what he said was supposed to be a 30-second to 1 minute explanation of the history on why he invaded Ukraine. What he ended up giving was just a rambling, fucking nonsensical, incoherent, Russian propagandized version of history.
Never been so embarrassed. And that's why Putin, I believe, because I know Putin very well, very smart, very sharp. They hate when I say that, They say, oh, you called him President Xi of China. I say, very smart man. They ask me, is he smart? I said, well, let's go a step above that. Let's say he's a brilliant guy. The press goes, he called President Xi brilliant. Well, here's a guy controls 1.4 billion people with an iron fist. Yeah, I'd say he's
No, he
so
doesn't.
smart. But he respected this country. We didn't play games, and we took out
Chairman Xi, because he's not the fucking president. Presidents are elected. Xi was picked by the Communist Party. He doesn't rule with an iron fist. What he rules with is the fucking surveillance state. that is beyond anything that anybody in this country could possibly comprehend. He has turned the region of the Uyghurs into just basically an open air, facial recognition, cameras on every block. Every bit of private life has ceased to exist. They use that in order to control the Uyghurs. They use that in order to pick out individuals that they deem need political, what do they call it? Political fucking education, re-education. And what they do is they put them in these brand new fucking facilities, these brand new in camps. There's no other way to say it. And that's what they do. They subject them to fucking hard labor. They subject them to lack of food, lack of water. It's fucking it's despicable. And the way he talks about this man as if he's just some genius that figured out a way to rule what China says is 1.4 billion people, which is just fucking basically a number that is pulled out of Xi's ass. Especially when the age of that country is what it is. The young people in that country are getting out as fast as they fucking possibly can, and what's left is just old people. So when he says that he's controlling 1.4 billion with an iron fist, even if that were true, how is that a good thing? Why are you touting an authoritarian dictator who stamps out political opposition at every chance he gets, who somehow created a one-party state that steals the technology of other countries in order to benefit themselves? It just, they're stealing it from us. They're stealing it from us, and he's calling this man smart. That's what's
billions, hundreds of billions of dollars out of China. No president has ever taken out 10 cents out of China. We take out hundreds of billions of dollars. So Nikki may have started her career in South Carolina, but she's now 100% the candidate of Wall Street and the war machine. She wants to go to war with everybody. She wants to kill people. Countries that don't want us there. Countries that don't want us there. We're all over the place. We took a lot of it out. They don't want us there. It costs us billions and billions and trillions of dollars. And I just put a truth out. Is everybody, I hope, on truth? It's the greatest. David, you're on truth? I just put it out. They want to give like almost $100 billion to a few countries, $100 billion. And I said, and I'm telling you this is breaking news. We have breaking news. I said, why do we do this? If you do, you give them not $100 billion. You give it to them as a loan. It's called a loan. Give them the money. And if they can pay it back, they pay it back. If they can't pay it back, they don't have to pay it back because, you know, they've got some problems. But if they go to another nation, they drop us like a dog, like a female drops a male after a date because he doesn't like her, right?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If that happens to our male drop, they don't have money. That don't want us there. We're all over the place. We took a lot of it out. They don't want us there. It costs us billions and billions and trillions of dollars. And I just put a truth out. Is everybody, I hope, on truth? It's the greatest. David, you're on truth? I just put it out. They want to give like almost $100 billion to a few countries, $100 billion. And I said, and I'm telling
aid. Bear with me. Guy makes me do it. Given to okay. See what this pulls up. All right, so this is from, I'm going to share this tab now. Trump, this is from June 30th, 2019. Can you see it? Hold on, let's do this. Let's do this. Trump gave North Korea more than it ever dreamed of. By crossing the border, Trump has changed the game, but introduced Pyongyang to demilitarize. Oh, what's that say? Denuclearize. He's going to have them more than reduce the tension. I mean, this is when he met Kim Jong-un, basically giving North Korea the biggest victory they've ever had in their entire fucking existence, putting them basically on the world map. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is under President Trump, we were given North Korea, I believe, $3 billion of aid. This is from 2017. Of course, you can't see it. 2017. What happens to North Korea's aid money, right? So, our country has been unsuccessfully dealing with North Korea for 25 years, given billions of dollars and getting nothing. Policy didn't work, which is funny because he then ended up giving them what? Trump may exaggerate somewhat according to the 24-hour book. The U.S. gave $1.3 billion between 1995 and 2008. $1.3 billion between 1995 and 2008. They gave him $3 billion a year under Donald Trump. So, just when he's talking about us giving aid in helping other countries, just remember that, you know, he was giving some shady countries money too. And I don't listen. I'm not going to say that the people of North Korea don't deserve to be supported by other nations because their own nation won't do it. But we're kidding ourselves if we think that those resources are actually trickling down like trickle-down economics to the people of North Korea. It's just not what's happening.
I'm telling you this. This is breaking news. We have breaking news.
Let's hear this.
Why do we do this? If you do, you give them not $100 billion. You give it to them as a loan. It's called a loan. Give them the money. And if they can pay it back, they pay it back. If they can't pay it back, they don't have to pay it back because, you know, they've got some problems. But if they go to another nation, they drop us like a dog, like a female drops a male after a date because he doesn't like her, right? If that happens to our country,
hold on.
Very simply,
he didn't even say it right to begin with. When a female drops a male after a date because he didn't like her, would it be because she didn't like him? Am I trying to dive into this too deep?
They've got some problems, but if they go to another nation,
like
they
a
drop
dog,
us like a dog, like a female drops a male after
female
a date
drops a
because he
male
doesn't
after a
like her,
date
right?
because he doesn't
If
like
that
no, because
happens
she doesn't
to our
like him.
country, then very simply, we call the loan and we say we want our money because we give money and then they go to another side. As an example, let's say we give all this money. We were already into Ukraine for over $200 billion.
Should be more.
And they could make a deal with Russia in the next 3 weeks, and all of a sudden they don't want to deal with us anymore. We've given hundreds of billions of dollars. And why are we at over?
Why does that matter as to the aid that we've been giving them up to this point? I mean, let's just even play towards this hypothetical on this one, right? Let's just play into it. Let's say Ukraine does make a deal with Russia in the next, 3 weeks or whatever. Why would the aid and the weapons and the equipment that we've been sending them to defend themselves up until this point, why would that be a waste? And has he? This is the problem when Donald Trump doesn't go to Ukraine or doesn't actually try to understand what's going on in the conflict, in the brutal invasion that Russia perpetrated on a sovereign nation. The Ukrainian people are fucking done dealing with Russia. There is fucking no chance in hell, even if they were to negotiate and make some sort of peace, that they would in any way after that allow Russia to have any influence in their fucking country whatsoever. It is very clear that the Ukrainians perceive themselves as Europeans and not fucking part of the Eastern Bloc countries. I mean, they want to be in NATO. They want to be part of the West. It's just not going to happen, even if they were to negotiate a peace settlement in order to stop the killing. That they would somehow just revert back to allowing Russia to control and to corrupt their country. This is what happens when you don't actually know what's going on in the fight. When you don't actually know the people that are engaged in this conflict and what their mentality is and what, how dedicated they are, how determined they are.
Over $200 billion. And the European nations are, if you add them up, it's a very similar sized economy. They're at $25 billion. So we're at 200 plus, and it affects them much more. We have a thing called an ocean between us, right? It affects them much more. But we're at 200, they're at 250. I did the same thing with NATO. I got them to pay up. NATO was busted until I came along. I said, everybody's going to pay. They said, well, if we don't pay, are you still going to protect us? I said, absolutely not. They couldn't believe the answer. And everybody, you never saw more money pour in to Secretary General Stoltenberg. Well, I don't know if he is anymore, but he was my biggest fan. He said, all these presidents came in, they'd make a speech, they'd leave, and that was it. And they all owed money, and they wouldn't pay it. I came in, I made a speech, and I said, you got to pay up. They asked me that question. One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes. Let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage that.
How much did he say the EU was in for? I believe he said we were at 200 and they were at 25, right? Okay. It's funny how he didn't. It's funny how he's not mentioning this. It's funny how he's not mentioning the top European leaders coordinated to get the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban, who Donald Trump touts in almost every fucking speech he gives, to agree to the 50 billion euro plan aimed at keeping Ukraine's economy afloat during the war with Russia. Why didn't he not mention this? Does he not know the news? Does he not know? So that would be what? Another 50 billion on top of the 25. So we're going to make that 75 billion. Not to mention the cost incurred with, changing their entire the way that they fuel their economy, where they buy fuel from, how they used oil. I mean, there's no way that you can't calculate how much it's cost these countries to just completely detach themselves from Russia. It's amazing. I don't know. Sorry.
Them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills. And the money came flowing in. And Henry would know this. If I said, yes, I will, you don't have to pay. Yes, I will. Most politicians have said to that, yes, we will protect you under any circumstance. Well, then they're never paying up. I said, no, you have to understand, you don't pay your bills, you get no protection. It's very simple. Hundreds of billions of dollars came into NATO, and that's why they have money today, because of what I did. And then I hear that they like Obama better. They should like Obama better. You know why? Because he didn't ask for anything.
Thank you, Cynthia. I do appreciate you. I appreciate all the sparklers. I mean, I just, you know how much I respect you guys and appreciate you guys. Um, you really do. You really do have a great community, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. I'm very glad that I found you guys at the time. Appreciate it.
Very nice call. He could have played to the bandwagon. He didn't do that. He told the truth. So I like Zelensky, but that war's got to end. We can make a deal on that war. One of the things we're going to.
Did I miss an Obama brain fart? Hold on. We'll go back a little bit. Oop, yeah.
Hang up. I said, no, you have to understand, you don't pay your bills, you get no protection. It's very simple. Hundreds of billions of dollars came into NATO, and that's why they have money today, because of what.
So basically what Donald Trump wants to do is he wants to turn the United States into a gang of mercenaries, which only involves himself in conflicts in which the country being invaded can pay their way into having some defense from the United States. That's what he wants. Basically, that's a mercenary. That's all. That's what a mercenary is. A mercenary is a guy that goes to other conflicts that is only motivated by one thing and one thing alone, and that is money. If you pay him enough, he'll go anywhere. He'll fight for anybody. He has no real morals. He has no real policies that he's fighting for. It's basically money, money, money. And that's what Donald Trump is basically saying. If you can't pay your way, you're not going to get defenders. You're not going to have defense from the United States, which is just fucking. It's beyond crazy, and it's just beyond anything. It's just beyond the reality that has been laid at our feet since World War II. Okay, we don't tell countries, no, we're not going to protect you against this huge other country that is invading your sovereign nation because you can't pay your way right now. It's just sickening to even hear, to tell you the truth.
What I did. And then I hear that they like Obama better. They should like Obama better. You know why? Because he didn't ask for anything. We were like the stupid country of the world, and we're not going to be the stupid country of the world any longer. We're not going to be. Got bad under this guy. So he now wants to send them $50-60 billion. I have to say one thing. I think the greatest salesman ever in history is Zelensky. And I like Zelensky because during the hoax of, the impeachment hoax, they said I made a threatening phone call.
Perfect call, folks. Perfect call. Perfect call. I said the President of the United States wants nothing. I'll say it again. The final word from the President of the United States is, I want nothing. I called you for no reason whatsoever to have a perfect phone call about nothing. Nothing. It's right here in Sharpie. It's right here in black Sharpie, so it must be true. I wrote it 4 times. I want nothing.
Phone call to him, and when they asked him, he said, no, it wasn't threatening. It was a very nice call. He could have played to the bandwagon. He didn't do that. He told the truth. So I like Zelensky, but that war's got to end. We can make a deal on that war. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to get that war ended. That war is a disaster. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are being killed, far more than you're reading about. And you notice you don't.
Does he know how stupid he sounds? Does he fucking know how stupid he sounds? Hundreds of thousands of people. There's 400,000 dead soldiers on the Russian side alone. And those numbers are fucking reported. People do know that. It's just...
You don't hear about that war anymore. You know why? Because they're not doing well. That's why. Because the fake news is totally bought in, and now they're saying this is not working out. No, we got to get that war settled, and I'll get it settled. It would have.
What? You never hear it because they're not doing well? Who?
Far more
Ukraine's
than
not
you're
doing
reading
well?
about. And you notice you don't hear about that war anymore. You know why? Because they're not doing well. That's why. Because the.
Right. Yep. The much smaller nation with a much smaller military, with no navy, invaded by one of the world's superpowers, supposedly, a nuclear power, with millions of active soldiers, with just vast amounts of weaponry, was supposed to be a 72, I repeat, a 72-hour operation by the Russians when it started. Now that big long line of armored vehicles on their way to Kyiv, this was supposed to be over in 72 hours. Russia was supposed to have the capital of Ukraine in their hands in 72 hours. We are now, 720-something days into this conflict? And not only has Russia not gained a single fucking objective, but they have lost over a third of the military soldiers, of the soldiers that they originally went into Ukraine in this wave with, are dead. 400,000 Russian soldiers dead, just left in their trenches, left on the battlefield, never to be picked up by their military, never to be given a proper burial, never to be sent back to the family. The family will never receive the funds that they're supposed to receive when their family member dies in service in an active duty situation. The Russian military actively tells these families that their soldiers, their sons, their daughters, their cousins, their fathers died from heart attacks and not in the field of battle, so they don't receive what is a vast sum of money to a Russian citizen. That's the shit that's going on. So this isn't Russia winning. This isn't I don't know how else to explain it. You know what I mean? Because because we haven't seen Ukraine in this blitzkrieg style lightning war rush to surround and cut off the entirety of the Russian military yet, does not mean that they are not holding their own. Look at the soldiers in Avdiivka right now. The brave men and women of Avdiivka who are just trying to hold that town, just to hold off Russians advancing from the north and the south, just to give everybody else time to recoup, to set up another line of defense, to hopefully get the fucking United States to get their shit together. I don't know. I don't know how many times I can say I don't know why this
Because the fake news is totally bought in, and now they're saying this is not working out. No, we got to get that war settled, and I'll get it settled.
Again, just before we keep going on, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I know it's Saturday afternoon. I know you guys have a lot of shit that you could be doing, a lot of shit that you could be taking care of, a lot of people that you could be watching this time. But for the 178 people that are in here with me, I really do appreciate you guys. Just, I don't know, your dedication and your just hunger for knowledge and to make these situations better and to make this country a better place and to be on the right side of history is really commendable. And I can't thank you enough. So, thank you. I'm not going to do a Donald Trump and say, I want to thank you. I'm going to say thank you. So thank you.
Never happened with Putin. It would have never happened. And by the way, it didn't happen for 4 years. It didn't happen. We'll get it settled.
I have to keep stopping the guy. And it's annoying. It didn't happen while they were already in the fucking Crimea. They were already in Crimea. I don't remember Donald Trump doing anything to negotiate Russia to, not be there while he was in office. But that's besides the point.
But we're fighting for the people of our country. We're going to stop that war. We're going to stop other wars that are happening. But when you think of what took place in Israel just a short while ago, it would have never happened. Even the Democrats were on television the other day, Deface the Nation. Did you ever watch the show Deface? Ladies and gentlemen, it's Donald Trump on Deface the Nation.
Twilight, I love this fucking question. Boston Brian, any pointers for me teaching my son to drive in the snow? We got 3.5 inches in central New Mexico. Yes, absolutely. Driving in snow is probably one of the funnest things I do in New England. But take it slow. First thing I have to know is the car front wheel drive or rear wheel drive? What type of vehicle is he driving? Because that has a huge impact on the way he's going to be driving the vehicle. So let me know, and we'll get that taken care of for you.
No, I think it was Deface the Nation. They're all sort of the same, all very radical and crazy. But they were saying that, now, one thing I will admit, if Trump were president, you wouldn't have had Israel attacked, you wouldn't have had Ukraine attacked, and you wouldn't have had inflation. Other than that, but we're going to drain the swamp. We started off, we fired Comey, that fraud.
All right, so we got a front wheel vehicle in 3.5 inches of snow. First off, you're going to be at a disadvantage. Front wheel drive vehicles are usually a little more difficult to drive in the snow. If he has to jam on the brakes, do not jam and just hold the brakes down. Pump the brakes. There's a song you can listen to. It has the same thing, but just keep pumping. That way you get grip, little bit grip. Because if you stop right off the bat and you get no grip, you're going to continue to have no grip. What's another thing? I don't know. That's a good question. It's tough for people that have never driven in snow before. I kind of just do it as second nature now, so it's hard for me to figure out what I actually do to. I mean, I'm a donut guy. I go out and find parking lots and do fucking donuts and shit. So I'm probably the wrong guy to be asking. I love. Can't say I'm the safest guy when it comes to driving in the snow. But yes, Terp is right. Ice is way worse. Just watch out for the black ice. I'm not sure how cold it is there. If it's above freezing, you probably won't have to worry about any black ice. But if it's below freezing with the snow, just be careful. Just take it slow. That's all you do. Take it slow, turn slow, brake slow, accelerate slow. Try not to get too close to any vehicles on the highway because, your stopping distance is obviously going to be extended. Your braking distance is going to be extended. Make sure you have good tires. I know it's probably not a common occurrence in New Mexico, so I'm sure you don't have snow tires sitting around like everybody in New England does. In New England, we just have a spare set of tires that we have to put on every winter, or else you'll never get anywhere in this fucking place. But I hope that helps.
We got rid of that guy and got rid of a lot of others. And then we
Hold
had
on, was he
COVID
just
came
bragging
in
about
and,
Comey?
that
Is this a Comey brag that I
stopped
missed?
us. Had Israel attacked, you
Sounded
wouldn't have
like
had
it.
Ukraine attacked, and you wouldn't have had inflation. Other than that,
I just snowmobile.
but we're going to drain the swamp. We started off, we fired Comey, that fraud. We got rid of that guy and got rid of a lot of others. And then we had COVID came in, and that we had the greatest economy in history, even for 4 years, the greatest economy. But just prior to COVID, we had to fix that. Nobody knew what it was. You know, I get great credit.
Alexander Vindman was the guy's name. All right, here's a question for you. Here's a question for any creators watching right now that know this a little bit. How do I get, if I wanted to get like this picture that says Viktor Orban was responsible or in part responsible for the $54 billion going to Ukraine, how would I get that article to show on screen as I'm showing this video? Anybody know how I can do that? Yeah, it's off right now, Terpy. But I like this one. Of course I can drift. I mean, I'm not Tokyo Drift or anything like that, but once the snow comes out, I'll throw my truck around like it's going out of style. You kidding me? I'm the best at that. Yeah, sorry. It's so split the screen. I don't know what that means though. Like I see options down on the bottom here where I can have just me. I can have a guest side by side, a small guest side by side, me with a big picture, me as the way I am, me with two guests, and two guests with a picture. And then I see edit layout and new layout. Other than that, I have no fucking idea. Ooh, what's present? Can I do that? Extra camera slides. Oh, I don't have an extra camera. That's the problem. Video file slides. Do I have a slide? I have no slides. All right, maybe I'll make slides. Maybe that's what I have to do. All right, sorry. I probably shouldn't do this while I'm on air. That's probably something I'll do after.
You're not going to have any problems.
I'm on StreamYard, Nicholas.
The toughest guy, he's a smart guy, great guy, loves his country. But he said, and I don't use this term, but he used this term, China was afraid of Donald Trump. Russia was afraid. Remember when I stopped their pipeline, Nord Stream 2? I stopped it. I said, it's over. We're not going to do it. You're not going to have a pipeline going all through Europe. And I stopped it. And it was done. Then Biden came in, he approved it like so crazy. We were going to be selling, because we were going to drill, and we were going to be selling oil and natural gas and everything else to Europe and all over the world. But these foolish people, these stupid people, what they've allowed to happen to our country. And the reason that we're all doing so well, and you're respected too. By the way, Make America MAGA is very respected now. You see Jamie Dimon, the head of one of the great banks.
What do you say?
One of the big
Make America
banks,
MAGA?
to happen to our country. And the reason that we're all doing so well, and you're respected too. By the way, Make America MAGA is very respected now. You see Jamie Dimon, the head of one of the great banks, one of the big banks. The other day he said, well, no, we have to respect MAGA. We have to respect. You better believe they have to respect MAGA. And MAGA, I think, is 90% of the Republican. They like to say, well, Trump has a solid 35% of, no. It's not 35. We have 90, 95. He's lifting off. That's a front row Joe. Stand up, Joe. Front row Joes. Look at these people. Whoa.
He is beyond delusional. If he thinks he still has 95 fucking percent of the Republican, like, okay, again, going along with his hypotheticals, going along with what he says. Show me the polls where it says that. Show me the caucus where he got 96%. Show me the primary where he got 96% of the vote. Show me a state where he got 95% of anything right now. Anybody. Show me a fucking poll. Joe Biden, I believe Joe Biden won New Hampshire when he wasn't on the ballot. He got 96 point something percent of the vote. I could be mistaken. I believe it was New Hampshire. Somebody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong. That is what it looks like when you have an entire fucking political party behind you. Okay? Not 51% of fucking Iowa Republicans out of the small number of Republicans that actually got off their ass to go vote. Okay? 5,000 votes more than Ted Cruz got when he beat Donald Trump is nothing to brag about. Okay? So while you're watching this, maybe I'll look up see if I can pull up the clip where Biden got 96. He wasn't. I don't even think he was on the fuck. They wrote him in. He got 96% of the fucking write-ins.
They might even have your record, North Carolina. Okay, all these North Carolina women, but they come to a lot of events and they're rich people, I think, right? You have plenty of cash. They got a lot of cash. They got to have a lot of cash. They follow me all over the place. Thank you. Now they're great people, actually. But as president, I ended the NAFTA disaster, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with a brand new USMCA. That's Mexico and Canada, who are ripping us off. I know they're our neighbors, but they were ripping us off. The best trade deal, they say, ever made in our country. I know it's good because they want to renegotiate the deal. And for years, we suffered with NAFTA. And everyone said, you'll never be able, you know how to get it knocked out in Congress, that one. That couldn't be executive order. And amazing, but it was a giant win for South Carolina and farmers, manufacturers. It was a tremendous win for Iowa. It was a tremendous win for Wisconsin, but it was a great win for you. I took on communist China like no administration in history, bringing in hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars, hundreds of billions. And I would say my relationship got to be a little bit sour.
Are you ready? Here we go. What's that say? Anybody? Because there's no MAGA chuds in the chat, no trolls in the chat that I can see. I'm assuming that you guys can all read that, which says the majority, 58% of Dartmouth students who plan to vote in the Democratic primary opted for write-ins, 96% of which expressed support for incumbent President Joe Biden. President Biden did not register as a candidate for the New Hampshire primary. That's what it looks like. This is what it looks like when you have the support of your fucking party, okay? Not this. Not this bullshit.
A lot of people think that COVID came because of that. They said, how do we get this guy out? Now what they're trying to do is use the Justice Department, the local DAs, and the attorney generals. But nothing's going to work. Look, we're doing a great job. We're doing a great job. If we do a great job and we have the people on our side, nothing they can do can hurt us. We're doing something that's never been done before. We're straightening out a mess.
Uh-oh.
Then I gave out.
Am I having Wi-Fi issues?
Right out of those tariffs that China was paying.
Here we go. I like this one. I like this one.
We're doing a great job. We're doing a great job. If we do a great job and we have the people on our side, nothing they can do can hurt us. We're doing something that's never been done before. We're straightening out a mess.
Millions and millions. This might be the best thing I've ever seen. Millions and millions.
Then I gave out of China. I gave our farmers $28 billion right out of those tariffs that China was paying. Right out of the tariffs from China. Manufacturers too.
Terp for the W. Oh, that is awesome. I had to read it twice. I was like, what the fuck is that? What does that mean? Millions and millions is fucking awesome. Congratulations, Captain. You just won the fucking chat for the day. That is too fucking good. Millions and millions. Oh, shit. Best chat ever.
Remember, the night I won the Iowa caucuses, the Chinese stock market took a tremendous nosedive. Some people would say a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's
what
I was going to explain. Hold on. The 28 billion.
China, I gave our farmers $28 billion right out of those tariffs that China was paying. Right out of the tariffs from China. Manufacturers too. Remember, the night I won the Iowa caucuses, the Chinese stock market took a tremendous nosedive. Some people would say a little bit of a mini crash. I won Iowa by the record that we talked about, and the market dropped. Then the next week I won New Hampshire. The market went way down. The China market, what does that tell you? That tells you that you don't have to say anything. And I'm not looking to hurt them, but they have to treat us fairly. We're not looking to hurt China. We'll have a good relationship with China, I hope. But they respected us. They didn't want those tariffs. You know, for the first year, they pretended like the tariffs didn't bother them. I made it 25%, then I made it 35%. And they kept saying, it doesn't matter.
All right. He makes me do it. He just makes me do it. Just makes me do it. All right. What do we got here? What do we got, guys? What do we got? Direct farm aid has climbed each year under Trump's presidency, from $11.5 billion in 2017 to more than $32 billion this year. And this was in... What year was this in? Why don't you tell me? Right here. August 14th, 2020. Okay. $32 billion, an all-time high, with potentially far more funding still to come in 2020, amounting to about 2/3 of the cost in the entire Department of Housing and Urban Development and more than the Agriculture Department's $24 billion discretionary budget. So it's more than the entire budget by $8 billion, okay? But lawmakers have taken a largely hands-off approach, letting the department decide who gets the money and how much. The massive payments have been a political boon to Trump and farm country, he tweeted the January. Hoped you would like the thing that they would most remember, but risk creating a culture of dependency as farmers and ranchers work the bonus subsidies into their financial plans when making large upfront investments in seed, feed, and farm machinery. So basically what they're saying is the handouts of this magnitude automatically somehow the farmers tend to put that into their yearly budget as if they're going to continue to get it. And it's just not sustainable. And then the farmers end up not having the amount of money that they need, which they thought they were going to get, thus putting them in a situation. Farm sales. Here we go. Farm sales to China plummeted from $19.5 billion in 2017 to just $9 billion the next year as producers continued to hemorrhage profits in 2019. Farm bankruptcies jumped nearly 20% in 2019. All right, so now that we've got that taken care of and you actually know what the fuck's going on when he says the $28 billion, you can now educate everybody else when they say that stupid fucking talking point.
It doesn't matter. We don't care about the tariffs. We're China.
And that... what I just explained doesn't even cover the fact. It doesn't even cover the deal that Donald Trump made with China that said that they were supposed to buy so much goods every year for a certain amount, and they completed not even a third of that deal. Not even a complete third of that deal was completed under Donald Trump. Complete fucking failure. Complete and total fucking failure, which is why this is a good one. When he mentions in his speech, oh my God, Joe Biden doesn't spend nights tossing and turning and sweating in bed trying to figure out how he can help the farmers. Yeah, he doesn't, because he didn't fuck the farmers over. So therefore, he doesn't have to fucking toss and turn in his shitty gold bed trying to figure out how he can help them. You fucking moron.
China. I said, I can't believe it. They don't care. It's a lot of money, but that's okay. Then I made it 45. Then I got a call from the top man, President Xi, who you have to respect, strong. Can you imagine him dealing with Biden? Biden walks in, he falls asleep. They said, get this guy out of here. He won't know. He won't know where he was. But I got a call from the top guy. He said, please stop the tariffs. You're killing us. I said, okay. But they're great negotiators. I mean, they are great much better than the people we have negotiating. We have these guys go over there begging. They're like beggars. But they knew that Crooked Joe and Nikki Haley are very good for China. They're China people. They're into China. Donald J. Trump is good for the United States of America. That's what I'm good for.
That's a good one. Hold on. That's rich.
Knew that Crooked Joe and Nikki Haley are very good for China. They're China people. They're into China. Donald J. Trump is very, and they are great, much better than the people we have negotiating. We have these guys go over there begging. They're like beggars. But they knew that Crooked Joe and Nikki Haley are very good for China. They're China people. They're into China. Donald J. Trump is good for the United States.
You heard it, folks. You heard it, right? Joe Biden and Nikki Haley are China people. China people. They're for China. Right? That's what they do. They're here to help China. But Donald Trump isn't, right? Donald Trump isn't, right? There's just no frigging way that Donald Trump would in any way be good for China, right? He doesn't do, why would he do anything to benefit China? It just doesn't make any sense, right? What is this bullshit? No, I don't want this. Get out of here. Yet, Trump paid nearly $200,000 in taxes to China, right? A report from the New York Times reveals a decade of Donald Trump's unsuccessful business activities in China, including an undisclosed bank account that paid nearly $200,000 in taxes, undermining his own exaggerated claims of Hunter Biden's business dealings there, as well as his rhetoric that his Democratic opponent, Joe Biden, is soft on the country. I mean, what better article to pull up as he's fucking talking about that? I mean, you get it here in the live, guys. Come on, blunt politics. We don't fuck around here. We're not going to sit here and fucking sugarcoat shit. If he's going to fucking lie to you, I'm going to tell you he's fucking lying to your face. If it was a fucking Democrat talking and they're lying to you, I'm going to tell you that they're lying to your fucking face. I don't give a shit who it is. Blunt politics means I'm going to give it to you fucking straight. That's just what it means. I'm sorry. If I take a lot longer because I have to find these clips to actually fucking show you guys what I'm talking about, then that's what it's going to take. But I'm not going to just sit here and fucking have you trust the words that are coming out of my mouth without actually fucking fact checking me, without actually me showing some proof of what the fuck I'm talking about. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to just yap and fucking make fun of this guy. I want to actually educate some people and fucking inform some people. Make sure that they know what the fuck they're voting for and who the fuck they're voting for and what the fuck they're going to get when they vote for that person.
States of America, that's what I'm good for.
Yeah, Nick, thank you. I appreciate you, brother. I know he's been on fucking a long time. I appreciate you being here. So, if anybody's gonna run and do shit, I fucking understand. Don't worry about it. Do your thing. I know you've been here for a long time. So it's Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. I appreciate you guys. Stay safe. Make sure you take care of somebody. Tell your family you love them. And enjoy your weekend.
He's with us 100%. Thank you. Thank you. Good to have you, man. Now, did they show you the picture of Mitt Romney? He's like kryptonite. If you touch Mitt Romney, you go down. I had a certain senator, I won't say which one. I endorsed him. He took a 44-point lead. 100%. He's with us 100%. Thank you.
Why is Mitt Romney kryptonite?
Good to have you, man. Now, did they show you the picture of Mitt Romney? He's like kryptonite. If you touch Mitt Romney, you go down. I had a certain senator, I won't say which one. I endorsed him. He took a 44-point lead. And then Mitt Romney got involved with him. And he started saying, here's the endorsement of Mitt Romney. That's
I'm just going to turn on the light real quick.
He went from 44-point lead to a 10-point deficit. But I got involved because I knew it wasn't true. And he won his state. It was a great victory. I don't want to tell you the senator. A lot of people know. Could have been more than one senator. Mitt Romney is kryptonite. Mitt Romney is a friend of Nikki Haley. And you saw the screen. I think you saw the screenshot. And that was actually when she was with Barack Hussein Obama. Oh, do we have good work? This was not, exactly. This was not on the screen. Congratulations, people in the back. His state. It was a great victory. I don't want to tell you the senator. A lot of people know. Could have been.
Anybody know what the fuck he's talking about here?
Kryptonite. Mitt Romney is a friend of Nikki Haley. And you saw the screen. I think you saw the screenshot. And that was actually when she was with Barack Hussein Obama. Oh, do we have good work? This was not, exactly. This was not on the screen.
Why did he do that? Why did he do that? Why did he turn around like that? This is great. This is great.
Mitt Romney is kryptonite. Mitt Romney is a friend of Nikki Haley. And you saw the screen. I think you saw the screenshot. And that was actually when she was with Barack Hussein Obama. Oh, do we have good work? This was not,
Oh, wow. What the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? How do I work with that? How am I supposed to work with that? Bye, Donna. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Have a good day. Don't forget to smash that like button and share this on the way out. Thank you so much. How do I work with that? How? What do I do? What do I do? What? I get one more time. Sorry.
A lot of people know. Could have been more than one senator. Mitt Romney is kryptonite. Mitt Romney is a friend of Nikki Haley. And you saw the screen. I think you saw the screenshot. And that was actually when she was with Barack Hussein Obama. Oh, do we have good work?
Like
this
he
was
had
not,
it planned.
Exactly. This was not on the screen. Congratulations, people in the back.
What? Am I lost? How did I lose this?
And 10.4
Where
lead.
did I go
And then
awry?
Mitt Romney got involved with him, and he started
Mitt Romney.
saying, "Here's the
Okay,
endorsement
we got
of
Mitt Romney.
That's a kill." He went from 44-point lead to a 10-point deficit, but I got involved because I knew it wasn't true, and he won his state. It was a great
He won his
victory. I don't
state.
want to tell you the senator.
Mitt
A lot
Romney.
of people know. Could have been more than one senator. Mitt Romney is kryptonite.
Okay.
Mitt Romney is a friend of Nikki Haley. And you saw the screen. I think you saw the screenshot. And that was actually when she was with Barack Hussein Obama.
Did he have, he had it planned? Is that like, does it say on the teleprompter, spin around and say, oh, like a weirdo? I don't know. I didn't hear anybody yell anything or nothing. And then he's lost afterwards too. What's he talking about here?
Oh, do we have good work? This was not, exactly. This was not on the screen. Congratulations, people in the back.
Congratulations, people in the back.
And Obama also. She actually dropped Romney for a little while for Obama.
Congratulations to the people in the back. And Obama also. I didn't think it was going to be this much fun. It's up. Oh no! What did it fall? Fuck! Hold on. It must have. It must have fell. Hold on. I'm sorry. That was.
But
too
this
good.
is where one thing with a politician. Henry knows this better than anybody. When they come out with an idea, they change for elections. A certain person was running, and he was totally against a certain agricultural product. All of a sudden, just before the election, he came out and he said, I love it, I love it, I love it. But you know that they're going back to where they came from, right, Henry? They always come back where they came from. Her policies are horrible. Her policies on Social Security, she wants to raise the age by 10 years, okay? No, now she'll deny it, but if she ever got it, she'll never get it. She's got like zero chance. Zero chance. But you know what? If she ever did, she would go back because they always go back to what they originally thought. But it's no wonder Joe Biden and his thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that We are the only ones who can stop them. We're the only ones. That's why they are weaponizing law enforcement for the high-level purpose of election interference, which is illegal, what they're doing too, by the way. They love to talk about democracy, but they're the ones who are weaponizing the DOJ, the FBI, our election systems, local DAs. I got DAs. If I fly...
Sounds like if I fly over a Democrat city or state, I'll get an indictment the next day. I get indicted. Well, all I got to do is fly over there and I get indicted. Now I forget what I was going to say when I fucking first stopped it.
Fly over a Democrat state. If I fly over what's called a blue state in my plane, I get a subpoena the next day. Please report to a grand jury.
Yes, Marcus, thank you so much for that. That is fucking pretty cool. I just, on my interview with Philip Bittner, who's in Ukraine, I was showing him that, and he noticed before I even showed it to him. That it's pretty fun. I just got to find a place to put it. I want to like somewhere up here or something like that. I got to find a good place. I was trying to balance it on top of the books, but obviously it fell. But I'll find a spot. I do appreciate it. Pretty cool, actually. I was psyched when I got that fucking thing.
Right, Vernon? I get a subpoena. I got more subpoenas.
I get a subpoena.
I think I had between Congress and every Democrat,
I love
FBI, or elections.
I get a subpoena. You know. More than Alphonse Capone. If you ever said anything bad to him, he'd shoot you. This guy right here, he's going to pick somebody out in the crowd. This guy right here, he's a big, strong guy. He's a big, tough guy. If he went to dinner with Al Capone and said something he didn't like, he'd shoot him right on the spot. Shoot him right on the spot, which obviously never happened because Al Capone had other people do it. That's why they had to get him on fucking tax evasion and not murder.
But he would make heaven because he had a great heart. And my mother, there's no doubt about it. My father is questionable, but my mother, there's no doubt. But they're both up there.
Yes, I love when he does this. This is great.
Vernon.
TikTok in the house.
I get a subpoena. I got more subpoenas than anybody probably in history. I think I had between Congress and
so good.
every Democrat DA.
Is it muted?
I always say, I said, I got indicted more than Alphonse Capone. Do you ever hear of Alphonse? A very nice gentleman, Scarface. Al Capone, the greatest of them all, the greatest mobster of them all. Trump got indicted more. Can you imagine? And it all took place within a matter of minutes. It's election interference, election. I wonder what my great father and mother, they're up in heaven. Believe it or not, my father was a tough guy, but he would make heaven because he had a great heart. And my mother, there's no doubt about it. My father is questionable, but my mother, there's no doubt. But they're both up there. And they're looking up, they're looking.
Yes. And it's a good speech. What a good live. This is good. This is getting good, folks. This is good. He's just fucking an idiot. What a fucking idiot. This is during the fucking presidential campaign speech. He's talking about whether or not his father was eligible for heaven. This is good.
Election systems, local DAs. I got DAs. If I fly over a Democrat state, if I fly over what's called a blue state in my plane,
you're going to get a subpoena.
I get a subpoena the next day. Please report to a grand jury.
There you go, Alan.
Right? Vernon.
Yeah, Vernon.
I get a subpoena. I had more subpoenas than anybody probably in history. I think I had between Congress and every Democrat DA. I think I had more. I always say, I said, I got indicted more than Alphonse Capone. Do you ever hear of Alphonse? A very nice gentleman, Scarface. Al Capone, the greatest of them all, the greatest mobster of them all.
The
Trump
greatest
got indicted
of them all.
Can you imagine? And it all took place within a matter of minutes. It's election interference, election. I wonder what my great father and mother, they're up in heaven. Believe it or not, my father was a tough guy, but he would make heaven because he had a great heart. And my mother, there's no doubt about it. My father is questionable, but my mother, there's no doubt. But they're both up there, and they're looking up, and they're looking. She's going to say, Mary.
Oh, they're looking up? Are they looking up? Why would they be looking up? Does that mean they're down there? Because if they're up there, they'd be looking down, right? Is that a little slip of the tongue there? Was your dad really an asshole and you thought that he should definitely go to hell? Is that what I'm getting at?
Indicted more. Can you imagine? And it all took place within a matter of minutes.
Yeah, Alphonse Capone.
It's election interference, election. I wonder what my great father and mother, they're up in heaven. Believe it or not, my father was a tough guy, but he would make heaven because he had a great heart. And my mother, there's no doubt about it. My father is questionable, but my mother, there's no doubt. But they're both up there, and they're looking up, and they're looking.
He does say looking up. Oh, this is just too good.
She's going to say, Mary, our son is indicted more than Al Capone. How the hell did this ever happen? And it all took.
They're going to say, fucking, we knew that son of a bitch was a loser. I gave him all my fucking money. I knew he was going to blow it. He's the only motherfucker that knows how to bankrupt casinos. Look at him. He looks like a fucking decrepit orange with a spray tan. That's not my son. That's what they're saying.
Took place within moments. But they're coming after you in many ways. They're coming after you. I'm just...
Yeah, he's just standing in the way, folks. Just standing in the way. Somehow, if you're an American citizen out there just living your life, not committing crimes, the FBI or the DOJ or the CIA or any other alphabets might be knocking on your door. And it's not just because this man has lived one of the most egregious fucking lives of crime in fucking fraud, in just phony fucking everything about the man his entire life that he's now paying for. That's why. This is good.
You know, I'm just stopping them. I'm stopping them. I always will. Somebody asked me the other day, a very important, a very, very successful guy asked me, they see what we have to go through with these maniacs. They're lunatics, and they see what I go through. And I say, it doesn't bother me because I have such support. It really doesn't bother me, which probably tells you there's a little bit of a screw loose there. Because a lot.
See, did he just say he has a screw loose? Is that what he's talking about? I mean, we know he does. All the screws are fucking loose. Not something I'd probably mention on the podium at a presidential campaign speech, but that's just me.
And them I always will. Somebody asked me the other day, a very important, a very, very successful guy asked me, they see what we have to go through with these maniacs. They're lunatics, and they see what I go through. And I say, it doesn't bother me because I have such support. It really doesn't bother me, which probably tells you there's a little bit of a screw loose there, because a lot of people would be not able to function. But it actually it inspires me. They said, if you had it to do again, you had a great life. I had the greatest life. I had the most beautiful places. I had a beautiful life. It did tremendous, had a book. It became the biggest book.
Yeah, that's what he's known for. Donald Trump, the author. That's what he's known for. Jesus Christ. That stupid fucking book. Guarantee he wasn't responsible for a single word of the fucking out of the deal. No chance.
I mean, many books, but had a book, one of the biggest books ever, a thing called The Art of the Deal, had a television show, became the top show, The Apprentice. I didn't know anything about television. I didn't know anything about books.
You didn't have to. You just sat there and fucking did what they told you to do. It's like you ran the fucking production. It's like you ran the fucking show. You went there, you shat yourself, you smelled bad, you made everybody uncomfortable, you said what you had to say, you said, you're fucking fired, and everybody went home.
One of the greatest real estate developers, what I do best is build. I'm a great developer.
Great builder. Great builder. Can somebody in the chat please explain to me? Please let me know. What was the last building that Donald Trump and his company was responsible for building 100% of? I'll wait.
That's what I did. I made a lot of money with it. You see that when you look at my statements, which are now public for everybody to see. I did great. But they say to me, you had a great life, have great homes, Mar-a-Lago, and many others like it. Then they say, you had it to do again. Would you do it? I never hesitate.
It's the second time. You had it to do again. If you had to do it again, is what he's trying to say, but he can't get that one fucking straight either.
I said, absolutely, I'd do it. I would have none of this happening because what I'm doing is necessary. And if I didn't do it, our country is gone. I believe our country would be gone.
Oh,
I really do.
By the way, this is at...
I really do. So
this is at Coastal Carolina College. Is where this rally is taking place. Taking place. I can talk. I promise. I can. It happens.
in a sense, I'm doing it for you, but in a sense, I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for a lot of great people, but I don't even hesitate. They asked me two questions. First is that, would you do it again? And they're always surprised when I say absolutely. You know, you got to go to on Monday. I have a court case, or Tuesday. It's okay. It's all right. You just say, I wish whatever state I'm supposed to be in well, and they can all see and they understand. They get the game. Look, normally when this happens, you go like that. You announce, here's what happens. You get indicted, you go to the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce my retirement from politics. I will be going home to spend more time with.
What he's explaining to his followers right now is what a normal, a person with dignity and maybe some self-respect, that if he was caught up in a scandal that was bad enough for him to either resign or be pushed out of his party politically, that yes, he would not fight it and just hang around, and he would just back away and be with his family. That's what, I don't know, normal people do, I guess.
With my family and to fight for my name. That's what happens. 99.9%, right? Henry wouldn't know because he's not even close.
Not me.
Okay, Henry would not know that. But that's what happens. You see, we've seen it many times, Henry, right? Politicians, they always announce they're going to fight for their name and they're going to go back home to their family, which they should have been home there a long time ago, right? That's what they do with me. They indict me. I explain what it's about. Total bullshit, all cases.
Oh, here's the cheers. Yep, they love it.
And
He swore.
my poll numbers go up. My poll numbers go up. How do you figure that? But Joe Biden and the fascists that control him are a true threat to democracy. You know, he's controlled by fascists and bad people. All of this persecution is only happening because we're leading so big in the polls. If I wasn't running right now, or if I was in fifth place, or if I...
None of this would be happening to me if I wasn't running for president with these investigations that were already ongoing before I announced my run for presidency. Then somehow the legal system would just end up not doing the jobs that they're paid to do, and they wouldn't go after me. It's only because I'm running for president after I knew that these investigations were taking place in the hopes of winning the presidency so you can tell the DOJ to kill these cases, therefore saving your fat fucking, what do you call it? A lot ass? That's what he is. He's a lot ass. His fucking lot ass piece of shit.
If I was like Haley, like 70 points down, I wouldn't be under indictment. I wouldn't have any problems.
This guy's talking forever.
In the latest Morning Consult poll, highly respected, we're at 80% in the Republican primary, and we're dominating Crooked Joe in the general election by numbers that nobody's ever seen before. In fact, our lead against Biden is the largest it has ever been. 6, 7, 8, 9. We have one at 11 points, which is hard. I have a friend that called me. He's not into politics. He said, could I ask you a question? How come you're only leading Biden by 8 points? I said, because if I ran this speech that I'm supposed to be using, but I decided not to. You know why? Because I feel at home with South Carolina. I'm at home.
Is that his healthcare plan? Is that what that is? Is that the book Kayleigh McEnany brought into fucking 60 Minutes that had absolutely nothing in it?
I actually told my children, they're great. I have great children, smart children. They worked hard, very hard.
Yep. Right now, Eric's out there fucking tossing concrete, putting it down. That's what he's doing, right? Couldn't be here right now. He's mixing a batch.
Has no life, no nothing. You get 39 points. That's why it amazes me. In other words, a Democrat, between the unions, the civil service, and a few other groups, I won't mention them, but you get 39 points, right? So no matter who you are, this microphone would get 39 points. We start off with nothing. We start off with nothing. We don't have that. We have to run the whole East Coast like I did
wrap
twice.
it up,
I
dude.
did twice. I did better the second time. But we have to run the East Coast. Then we have to take the Midwest. Then we have to do all sorts of things. I'll never forget that incredible 2016, though, when everyone said, well, he has no...
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the 30-second to 1 minute fucking interlude in preamble in explanation of history that somehow turned into a fucking 45-minute monologue by Vladimir Putin with his speech at Tucker Carlson. This is what this reminds me of. Just a bunch of fucking...
The evening, that fatal for the enemy, totally fatal for the enemy. So I started off at 2%, and then it comes out, Donald Trump has won the state of Florida. Oh, that's nice. So now I go from 2% chance to an 8% chance. Then we win Georgia, we win North Carolina, we win South Carolina, we win ultimately Pennsylvania.
Right. Let me explain how I came to run for president in 2024. It started with my great grandfather, Adolf Hitler.
To 6%, to 12%, to 14%. Now they're starting to get a little bit nervous. And then they said, well, North Carolina is a firewall. Donald Trump has won the state of North Carolina. They said that. And we won North Carolina.
North Carolina is a firewall? What the fuck is that?
But they had North Carolina, your neighbor. North Carolina is a firewall. He won't be able to get through North Carolina. We won that one. And now they're starting to get worried. So now we're at a 30% chance. Then we won a couple of others. Then we won Wisconsin. That was a big one. And now we're at 40% chance. So we won.
All right, Doc, I'm assuming this was the last building that Trump was, let's say, majoritively responsible for building, 2001. So 20 years ago, this guy has been slapping his fucking name on the front of buildings that other people built going in. Why do you think he always talks about like the last things that you do, like the rugs, curtains, and the fucking furniture? Because that's all the guy does. He goes in and he fucking decorates, throws his name on the front, so people think it's popular, and that's what he does.
You know, if you don't correct these people, they have a field day. Even when you do correct, they'll put it in, oh, did he say state? They don't have the correction. I never correct because I hate to admit I'm wrong. It's the Commonwealth.
Thank you guys for doing the research. I like that.
Pennsylvania, great Commonwealth, where I went to school, and a lot of things happened, and that was one of the most exciting evenings anyone's ever had. We had a great time. The radical left Democrats want Nikki Haley because they know that she's easy to beat. She's very easy to beat. Haley supports a 23% national sales tax, and she wants to gut Medicare and Social Security and raise the retirement age of Social Security by 10.
Chicago's another one of those buildings I believe that he just slapped his fucking name on, and I think that other partners actually own most stake in the building. I don't even know if he has any ownership in Chicago. Somebody in the chat will be able to tell me.
Much of an impact, right? She just added 10 years. But she gave land away in your state. She gave land away, as you know, to China. But most importantly, I'm beating Biden in almost every poll, and she's not beating Biden. She's misrepresenting a lot of things. And on the amnesty bill, she sided with crooked Joe Biden, and I sided with the people of the United States of America. A little different. The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election of 2020, and we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election of 2024. We're not going to allow it. Not going to.
Those Democrats. smartest people on earth that somehow managed to get away with the most widespread fraud ever committed in the history of mankind.
Just indict me. I consider it a great badge of honor. I consider it a great badge. These are very bad people. These are very crooked people because I'm being indicted for you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So he's just blaming, basically, in that moment is what he's doing. Yeah. Basically just blaming them.
Freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let.
I think this is his ending. This is his finale.
After me, they're after you. I just happen to be standing in the way, and I always will. So we're delighted to be joined today by a gentleman. I'd give him big place. I don't have to do too much, but we're really happy to have so many incredible political people that love your state and love our country. Governor Henry McMaster is here. Henry, thank you. And our First Lady, Peggy, thank you, Peggy. Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett is here. Thank you, Pamela. Great job. Great job.
Thank you,
We have
Ozzy
many
Osbourne.
members of Congress: Russell Fry, Nancy Mace, William Timmons, Joe Wilson,
Deplorable.
Mike Waltz, who you heard before,
Deplorable.
Horry County GOP Chairman Reese Boyd, done a great job. Thank you, Reese.
Deplorable.
And our 2020 Horry County Captain, Jerry McDaniel. I see Jerry back there someplace. Hi, Jerry.
Is this for everybody or just in it? Because I feel bad. I don't know why it would start breaking up after 3 hours, but please let me know.
Ambassador Ed McMullen. Thank you. A very good person, Pastor Mark Burns.
Justin, have a good one, my man. I appreciate you being here. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have fun tomorrow watching the Super Bowl if you can do that. Eat some food. Chill with some friends. Till the next time, you guys have a good one. Whoever's leading, sorry.
And he really does get it. And politically, he's as savvy as anybody there is. David McIntosh. David, thank you very much. And the next congressman from North Carolina's 6th District. I have to go to this one because he's a friend of my son, Don. And my son says he's such an incredible guy. He suffered a terrible tragedy. His brother very recently died from an overdose of fentanyl. Unknowing, and it's been devastating to him.
So when I'm talking right now, it's breaking up, is what you're saying? Is that what I'm getting out of this? You're welcome. I don't know why it's breaking up at the end. I'm sorry. I do apologize.
To him. But the 6th District, North Carolina, Addison McDowell, he's here someplace. Addison, thank you. Thank you. We're with you. He has
He's
my
wrapping up
complete
now.
and total endorsement, okay?
I appreciate you guys.
So go get him.
This long.
Go get
I didn't
him.
expect it to go this long either.
Your brother's looking down and he's very proud of you right now. So thank you very much.
My best.
From the very first day that we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden, I believe, and I believe this strongly, we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. And frankly, we have to. We have to. We have no choice because we're so far behind. We had the greatest economy in history, and now we have what's gone on. I mean, the inflation, what it's done to people, it's devastated people, 35, 40, 50%. If you think for basic staples. We appointed over 300 federal judges and 3 great Supreme Court justices. That was a big thing. We fully rebuilt the United States military and created Space Force, the first time since Air Force 78 years ago, right, Mr. Congressman? And you helped us, Mike. You helped us, Mike. That was a good speech you made, Mike. I was very proud of you. I didn't know his wife had more time than you, though, and that's pretty impressive. Stand up, please. She had more time. She's great.
Those people are bored as fuck. Look at Ozzy. Ozzy's had enough. Ozzy's ready for just to get the fuck out of there.
That's very good. We passed a thing called right to try. You know what that is? That was a big deal. They've been trying to do it for 70 years. It's not as easy as it sounds, but this is where we have the greatest doctors and lab technicians and labs in the world for medical purposes and for other purposes too. And we have drugs and space age things and bio that nobody in the world has, but we're not allowed to use them because the FDA said they may be dangerous. I said, wait a minute, may be dangerous. People are terminally ill. They're not going to be dangerous. These people have to take them. And I was able to work a deal and get it passed. Oh, are you? Oh, thank you. Wow, that's good. We've saved thousands of lives. Thank you very much. You're okay now. Wow. And I never met that woman in my life. I know what happens. They'll say, she was a shill. They put her in. That's great. That's great. Many, many people, thousands and thousands of people have been saved. And we gave them the right to try. We gave them the right. They were going to Asia. They were going to Europe. They were going all over the world. And if they had no money, they were just going home and dying. Most of them had no money. They go home and die. But we gave them a life.
Does he not understand what terminally ill means? Like, when somebody is like, does he think he's just like, does he think he's making these people not be terminally ill? Is basically the gist of it. Is that what? Does he think he can reverse that somehow? Is that what this is?
A license. And it was very tough because the doctors didn't want it, because they didn't want it on the records. The drug companies hated the idea because they didn't want to take somebody that was very severely ill, terminally ill, and if the drug doesn't work, they're going to have to report it. So we made the insurance companies hated it, and the country hated it because the country ends up being sued all the time. So they have to sign what's called a release. And we released the country from liability. They released the drug companies from liability. And the drug companies didn't have to report when somebody is that ill. They had a separate list. And this was such a success, right to try. And thousands of people are living now who would be dead. And some are living without a problem, where they're literally healthy people. They don't even have to go back. That's so.
He does think that. He thinks he's reversing somebody that's terminally ill. He thinks he's reversing that. He thinks now there's people living completely, totally healthy lives. Wow.
So I'm so proud of you. That's so great. Wow, that's really nice.
Wow.
Thank you very much. That is so nice that you do that. Thank you very much. And for our great veterans, we passed VA accountability and VA choice. Now, accountability is we fired 9,000 people from the Veterans Administration, the hospitals. They were sadists. They were thieves. They would beat up our soldiers when our soldiers weren't in prime time. They couldn't have done it in prime time. They would have gotten their ass kicked. But they did. They were sadists. They were actually, who would think this? And you couldn't, because of civil service laws, you couldn't do anything about it. They would steal. In Arizona, we had somebody stole $400,000 and they couldn't fire.
I mean, you know, all those civil service laws that are protecting people beating up veterans. That's might be one of the first things you got to do in office is get rid of those protections of the people that beat up veterans, because we shouldn't be protecting those people, really, if you think about it.
Fire the person. They caught them stealing $400,000, and you couldn't fire them because of the laws. Well, we got accountability done, and we got something that was even better. VA choice. We had choice. If you couldn't see your doctor within 24 hours, you go to a private doctor outside, we pay the bill. We saved thousands of lives. Thousands and thousands of lives.
Fucking wrap it up, dude.
And we had the most. Thank you. That was so great. You know, it's interesting. When I did that, I came up with that idea at a meeting. I had a meeting with a lot of generals, and they were saying how bad it was in the Veterans Administration because people would have to wait 3, 4, 5 months to see a doctor. You're pointing, right?
Sorry.
It was 3, 4 catch and release in our country. We had catch and release, but it was him to her bosom.
Oh,
You're
Jesus.
so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you surely would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again
Not
and
doing
kissed
it.
him in our country. We are a failing team for President's Day, but this is your home, this is your heritage.
I'm gonna skip to his ending, just so we can have some fucking closure to this shit.
And our American liberty is your God-given right. From Columbia to Conway, from Greenville to Garden City, and from Foley Beach to Myrtle Beach, we stand on the shoulders of South Carolina heroes who crossed the oceans, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up those big, beautiful skyscrapers. I did that. Won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America the single greatest nation in the world.
You have no idea how bad I want to sing over it like Hal did. It's just, I can't. We are a failing nation. We are a nation in decline. My whole family's going to jail in just a matter of time.
But now, we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that has the highest inflation in 50 years.
Wait, what happened? What did I miss? Just. What did I miss? I'm scrolling. Just. I missed something. I'm sorry. I'm yapping away. We got fucking important shit going on in the chat that I'm missing. Just. No. All right. Well, somebody inform me, please, on what's going on. Anybody? I said I lost. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry. That's terrible. You probably even told me that before, but it doesn't even register. Like when you say something like that. That's incredible. That's craziness. Sorry. Appreciate you being here with all of us. We do appreciate you back. Let's get through this so we can get the fuck out of here. You guys can get on with your lives. What am I doing? All right, yeah.
Years where banks are collapsing and interest rates are skyrocketing. Likewise, we are a nation where energy costs have reached the highest levels in our history, where we are no longer energy independent or energy dominant as we were just a few short years ago. We are a nation that is begging.
How many news stories does it take to tell you that we're producing more oil now than with him, for him to take that out of his speech? Just curious.
In Venezuela and others for oil. Please, please, please help us, Joe Biden says. Yet we have more liquid gold under our feet than any other country anywhere in the world. We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will be reducing their oil production while at the same time substantially increasing the price. And we met that threat by announcing that we will no longer be drilling for oil in large areas of Alaska or elsewhere on our land. We are a nation that is considered by the radical left's Green New Deal. Yet everyone knows that the Green New Deal is fake. It is the Green New Scam. It's the Green New Scam. And it will lead to our destruction. We are
Man,
a
I guess the
nation whose
microphone
leaders are
cracks up if I
demanding
talk
all
over him,
electric
right?
cars, despite the fact that they don't go far, they cost too much, and whose batteries are produced in China with materials only available in China, when an unlimited amount of gasoline is available inexpensively in the United States, but not available in China. And now we are a nation that wants to make our revered and very powerful, magnificent army tanks, considered the best in the world, all electric.
Because they want to make him
Despite the
silent.
fact that they are also not able to go far, fewer pollutants will be released into the air as we blast our way through enemy territory in an environmentally friendly way. And they also want to make our fighter jets with a green stamp of energy savings, though losing 15% efficiency, but allowing us to keep our enemy's atmosphere clean of emissions as we viciously and unceremoniously attack them at levels they've never seen before. Who are these people that would do this to us? Who are these people who would ruin our country? We are a nation that ended oil exploration and production in the United States of America just as the price of oil reached an all-time high. What other country would do such a foolish and self-destructive?
He just turned into what's the southern lady that cooks that got in trouble for being racist? The big white owl. She's owl. Apollo owl. He just did. Sorry. One more. Last one.
Says the price of oil
Owl.
reached an all-time high. What other country would do such a foolish and self-destructive thing? We can be energy independent, and we can even be energy dominant. And yes, quickly says that President Trump is saying we will be energy dominant very soon. We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving dead soldiers.
Quickly. That was awesome. Quickly he says that.
And we can even be energy dominant. And yes, quickly says that President Trump is saying you will be energy dominant very soon. We are a nation that surrendered in Afghanistan, leaving dead soldiers, American citizens, at $85 billion worth of the finest military equipment anywhere in the world, and also abandoning Bagram, one of the biggest military bases anywhere in the world, and only 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. And we are a nation that allowed Russia and Ukraine to fight, killing hundreds of thousands of people.
My stomach hurts from laughing already.
Me as your president, and for 4 straight years, it didn't happen. Likewise, the horrifying attack on Israel would never have happened. They wouldn't even have thought of doing such a horrible thing if President Trump was in the Oval Office. Iran was broke under Trump and the Trump administration. They didn't have the money to fund Hamas and Hezbollah and all of the other instruments of terror. They had no money at all. But those sanctions were lifted by the corrupt Biden administration. And now Iran is a rich country with $200 billion and another $6 billion for hostages. Think of it, $6 billion for 5 hostages and $10 billion for electricity for Iraq.
Pertaining to the $6 billion specifically, that's already been debunked many times. It was actually money they made under the Trump administration that was held, and then we made sure when it was released, we put parameters in place to know that it was being used for aid only.
All compliments of the incompetent Biden administration. And China, with Taiwan, is watching, and they're next. We're a nation that allows radical left terrorists to violently attack our cities, leaving behind massive destruction and death, and nothing happens to the criminals that do these terrible, terrible things. There is no punishment, but when people who love our country protest on January 6th in Washington, D.C., they become hostages for many years, unfairly imprisoned for long periods of time. We're a third world nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party like never before. Nothing like this has ever happened in our nation. We've got a Federal Bureau of Investigation that won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public, and which offers $1 million to a writer of fiction about Donald Trump to lie and say it was fact. We're Hunter Biden's laptop from hell.
This is nuts. Like, I know we're kind of like, we're used to it, like him doing this shit by now, but this is just fucking craziness. Like, think of another politician you can remember that had outro music to the ending of his fucking speeches. You know what I mean? Like, afterwards, when he's done, maybe, yeah, play a song, everybody dances around, but like they're using every fucking authoritarian tactic, every fascist fucking playbook they possibly fucking can to get people sucked into this bullshit.
Was Russian disinformation, and the FBI knew it wasn't, but 51 intelligence agents said it was, and the Department of Justice that refuses to investigate egregious acts of voting irregularities and fraud. And we have a man who is totally corrupt and the worst president in the history of our country, who is cognitively impaired, in no condition to lead, and is now in charge of dealing with Russia and possible nuclear war, which would be World War III and far more devastating than any of the previous world wars because of the power of...
Here's another thing that I just cannot stand. Him talking about how the next war is going to be, you know, the weaponry is going to be something unimaginable. Obviously talking about nuclear weapons. Does he, like, it's not, guarantee he says it's not going to be fought with army tanks. There's literally a war going on that's doing just that. Drones, army tanks, APVs, MLRSs, fucking air defenses, Patriots, HIMARS, like, you know, AKs, AK-47s, AK-74s, just these are conventional weapons that are being used in this fight. So for him to just be like, oh, the next time any conflict erupts, I mean, look at fucking Palestine, fucking Israel, rockets. I mean, they're going in there with conventional troops. You know what I mean? It's he's out of his fucking tree.
Weaponry.
And to use this tactic at the end of his speeches to then just spew any grievances he has with anybody and not talk about, like, I don't know. It's fucking it's beyond it's beyond insane.
Weaponry like no one has ever seen before. We're a nation that no longer has a free and fair press. Fake news is all you get, and they are indeed the enemy of the people. They refuse to discuss the Biden crime family, but enjoy covering false indictments of Donald J. Trump, who has done nothing wrong except win an election that they didn't think could won. We are a nation where free speech is no longer allowed, and where crime is rampant and out of control like never, ever before. We are a nation that is allowing Iran to build a massive nuclear weapon, and China to use the trillions and trillions of dollars it has taken from us to build a military to rival our own. And less than 3 years ago, we had Iran, China, Russia, and North Korea in China.
No, that's it. It's over. It's over. That's it. I can't do it anymore. Can't do it. Can't do it. Not gonna happen. I mean, I thought this was gonna be an hour, maybe two. We're going on fucking 3.5 hours. That's ridiculous. Well, my stomach hurts from laughing. It really does. So I hope in some way now, not only do you know what Donald Trump is saying, even though it's pretty much the same thing in every fucking speech that he has, every now and again, he does throw shit in there. Like we didn't hear him start saying the poisoning the blood of the country until recently. So it is very important to hear what the guy has to say, if only to be able to combat and debate people that have a difference of opinion. So I appreciate you guys being here. We still need a name though. I don't know if it's gonna be Boston's Brigade, fucking the Bryantologists. I kind of like that one, but we got to figure out something here. And like I said, I'm still working on the whole setup in the background and getting the the intro live stream coming soon, that stuff. So I want to make sure that I can get some people in the chat before I hop on. I know it's in the middle of the day on a Saturday, but that's just what it was today. So hopefully we'll be able to do this more and more often. So I do appreciate you guys being here. The Boston Badasses, I like it. But we do need something that's catchy, something that's good. I mean, I know I like military stuff, so I don't know if the Boston Brigaders or the Boston something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But like I said, I'll continue to try to give you the most heads up I possibly can before I go live. And I should start. I know this one was on Twitter and YouTube, and I'm going to try to get the Twitch set up as well so that people can watch on Twitch. But like I said, I'd like to get more of the show and more of the the graphics and stuff done, more finished, let's say, more polished before I start spreading my wings into other places. But we'll think about it. Check me out. You can check me out at patreon.com/BostonBrian. Ton of good tiers on there. I try to put a lot of my Twitter posts on there, any TikToks I do, links to the live streams, that stuff. We do Zoom calls. I should be putting out the links for the Zooms, February Zooms, coming out soon. So I look forward to seeing you guys face to face. Jess, I know you're always there. Anybody else that wants to join us, feel free. If you can't join the Patreon, don't worry about it. Do the free stuff. Do sharing, liking, subscribing, anything that's free, commenting. It helps with the algorithm. Share, like I said, share to the people that you may not think would like it. I like hate watchers. We need trolls. Every good channel needs a good set of trolls to keep them going, keep the conversation lively in the chat. So thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good night. Tell your family you love them. Make sure you tell somebody that they're doing a good job, and you respect them, and maybe somebody that helps you at the grocery store or Brian's Battalion. That's not a bad one, Jinx. That's not a bad one. Slacks. I know the Bryantologist. It's catchy. Johnny Million caught on to that one too. But we'll get it. We'll have to have a vote that way because there's a few good ones that we have on there. So I know there's a poll up on Patreon that you can vote on. There's a couple good ideas on there, but if you have a better idea, just leave it in the comments. But anyways, all right, till next time. Love you guys. Appreciate it. Keep kicking ass. Keep calling this shit out. Don't let this guy win. Don't let these people win. They cannot win. We have to keep being loud, louder than they are, louder than they think we could ever possibly be. And this is honestly the most important time in our lives. Things will change dramatically if things don't go our way in this next election, not only in this country, but around the world. So let's stay on it. So I appreciate you guys being here. Sorry it was so long, but anybody that stayed here for the whole time, you guys are the fucking best. Yes, Kyle, I will check out how to do mods, how to make people mods after I get out of this, because I'm afraid to click on any fucking buttons. So janky. We'll get it going. We'll get it. We get it. We'll love you, buddy. All right. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. I wish I had like a liver. I don't have like a light fancy thing to shut off. Maybe what if I do this? What if I do this? I do like a red light or a blue light or something maybe? I don't know. Didn't work as I expected.